Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is Sunday, it's the end of the week, and that means it is now time for us to be joining on to some good old Warframe. Hello and welcome, one and all. Hello there, Gorilla. Hello there, Hayaji. Is that Hayaji? Hayaji, yeah, I'm going to go with Hayaji there. Hello there, Quintus. Hello there, Freezing Worm. Hello there, X74. Hello, 02. Hello, Snore. Hope you're all doing well where you guys are around the world. Snore, you can grab your ticket now, by the way. You know, there it is. There it is. He tried grabbing one before the stream started, guys. I want to let you all know that. The very first message sent in the chat today, ignoring the bot saying thank you to the follows through the day, was Snore trying to grab a ticket when there wasn't even a stream happening. Tisk, tisk, my dude. Tisk, tisk. In any case, welcome, guys. Hello there, Boomerang. How are we all doing? As the stream title suggests, with just a couple words, we're going to be nuking today. There have been announcements in the dev stream about what they're changing to AoE. They're going to be bringing it down a peg, and so, yeah. Let's have a look at some classical AoE in the form of frames that sneeze, that flex, that otherwise cause good old groups of enemies to unalive.
Oh, the Kengineer! Oh my god! Wait, are they here? Kengineer, Kengineer.
And I still love that soundbite, thank you, Son. Yeah, I gotta call you out, Snore. I'm calling you out. Because why not? You expect anything else when you send that message so much ahead of the stream? I'm calling it out. I'm calling it out. I see it there. Alright. And also, Quintus, that's your hydrate from earlier. Redeeming that as we haven't even gotten started. That's just on the countdown, but sure, why not? Get a hydrate in there. Hello, Yabiel. How you doing? Alright guys, so, as always, let's get cracking on with the sortie to get ourselves started. We have got today, and of course send me a message in game if you want to join in, the Kengineer. Oh, hello Savalon. There we go. We've got today a mobile defense mission with enemy physical enhancement. We've got a rescue with sniper only, and then an assassination with an Xmas stronghold. So we have a quick request for a world on fire, Ember. World on fire. Let me think about that ability for a moment. World on fire, world on fire. Ain't that the one that got removed years ago? just a little bit out of date there, Quintus. Like, showing your age on the game there. I mean, we can absolutely bring out Ember, but they have Fireball, Immolation, Fire Blast, and Inferno. Yeah, it's Inferno. But hey, little mistake, it's fine. You were thinking about the other ancient ability, which I believe some liches still have. Yeah, the fire-based liches, I believe, still have World on Fire, but we don't. We don't. So I'll instead be bringing, let me see, what build do I want to bring instead? How about this one? How about a screw you duration? Let's just go for efficiency, range, strength, exothermic, cool down the flames build with even equilibrium, multi augmented. Just add everything to it. That should probably work. You'll join with the other fireframe? The other fireframe, as if there's only one? Okay. And New Era wants us to have some EDM to get the stream going with as well. Alright, let me just grab the EDM section on here. There we are. We'll switch over to that stuff for you, dude. There we go. Oh, righty-tighty. Looks like it's you and me today, Cephalon. Looks like it's you and me today on the sortie. Let's get cracking on it. We'll set this to friends and invite only. We don't need any randoms on this one. Just you and me smacking away through this mobile defense. Let's do it. All squad members need a rank 30 Warframe. Yeah, mate. You need to be a little bit high mastery rank to do that trick. You're not allowed inertia. Not allowed inertia. Nope. You'll join? Well, send me a message. Come on. Hurry up. Exclamation mark join if you don't know how to do that. If you do know how to do it, well, where's the message? We'll give you just a moment. I mean, as long as it takes him to figure out. Oh no, we got a frame. Looks I'm gonna have to click it. I have to click it. I ain't seeing any message coming through. I'm gonna have to click it. 1 second to launch the game. Ah! I stream at the same time every Sunday. We'll give you a minute. We'll give you a moment. Quintus also booting up right now. Ugh. Ugh. New era. Cheers. Looks like a couple people need that time machine for more reasons than just using World on Fire. There we are. Snore's taking a spot. So, okay, Quintus, Massive Legend, you are racing against each other now. First one to send the message, you're joining in. Because Snore has loaded up his game and stolen the spot. Village will be OP if it gets the armor shred changes. There's going to be more than a few abilities that are going to benefit from those changes as they described it. We'll have to see the full details as and when it comes around, because Ember, for example, would love those changes. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Berserker. Yeah, for those wondering why I've put a pre-birthday, my birthday's in 2 days' time, which means that I won't be streaming on my birthday. I stream on Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I don't stream on Tuesdays, so yeah. I know some people don't like wishing a happy birthday after the fact. Some people like to get in there a bit before. Some people will wait until exactly midnight on the day to say it. Things to that effect. And looks like Quintus been beat. There we go. We got the message out to a massive legend. Come on in, my dude. Let's do this. Turning 29? That's right, yeah. Yep, the very last stage of my 20s. Reaching the end of it all. Well, the end of my 20s, not all. I intend to live past 30. I definitely do. I think my parents would be very upset if I did not. You're very welcome, Bryson. Yeah, totes. Hello, Raynuva. Hope you're doing well. Alright, let's go. We've got... Oh, wow. Is that a very red-coloured limbo? Okay. I mean, that's one way to go with a fire theme. What? Okay. That would have killed stuff if it was still alive to kill. But it was not, so... Think your game crashed? It looks like you did get yeeted, didn't you? If you try to rejoin, you should be okay. If you're quick about it. And apparently I killed something while sliding there. That's a neat trick. Oh, I've still got my ability effects turned off for a screenshot. Let me fix that. There we go. We actually see what I'm doing now rather than... Well, you can kind of see what I'm doing. There we are. So this is the Ember Nuke build I've been putting together. Done some upgrading, got some formers in to actually make her more worthwhile. It puts out a heck of a lot of fire damage. She can still use her Immolation and Fire Blast, so as to build up armor stripping where required. She can generate energy at a decent enough rate. The efficiency is necessary to make that work out, because otherwise you'd be risking it without some other form of energy generation. And the idea is to make the build run itself, so then you can focus on other stuff in the Arcanes, like healing or strength. Then Prime Vaulted? Yes, she is. But you can get normal Ember easy. Easy peasy. We farmed normal Ember among 13 frames in total the other day, so, you know, not that hard to do. I forgot to equip a Sentinel, however, so that does make it more difficult. Thank you, Hitari. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Freezing Worm. Appreciate all three of you there with the early birthday wishes. So for those of you unaware as to Ember's Fire Blast, it is potentially a 100% armor strip. Even at base, it is 50% with no immolation charge. And as a subsumed ability, it's 75% with 100% strength. You can't go above 75% subsumed, but you can go below if you nerf your strength. So you do need to bear that in mind if you do use Fire Blast on other build. But overall, still capable. Rolling dart out of that one, don't mind me. Oh, that's going to kill me, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't expect there to be 3 of them at the door. My bad. I really should have remembered to put on my Sentinel. That was just stupid. Means I don't actually know how many enemies are on the other side of the door until they shoot me. Do I have some video ideas for a Veil Breaker? It depends on exactly what we get. It does depend on that. I know basically as much about Veil Breaker as you guys do, assuming you've watched the dev stream, so yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah, because I died, we got a Brammer. What? Now, fun fact about grouping abilities. Grouping abilities work very well for Ember, not just for bringing enemies into line of sight, but because any enemies that survive create a ring of burning around them, which allows Ember to deal yet more damage. Because it turns it into AoE, not just general wide-ranging nuke. And I died again because it's not a very tanky setup. I am working on that detail. It's not a very tanky setup, and that is a problem. Yeah, I've got very good vibes from the new dev stream team. Absolutely. I've got very good vibes from them. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing how things turn out for the future, really. I have a good feeling about it all. They brought out some good ideas, they brought out some good points. Very importantly, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't just say, here's what we're doing. They said, here's what we've heard, here's what we've seen, here's what we're intending to do, here's how we expect it to help, here's some other things we considered but are holding back because we don't feel they are necessary first time around. They went through the full explanation, not just sitting on little bits here or there or just saying, this is what you're getting, deal with it, kind of approach. I know they never had that kind of vibe on a dev stream before, but you get my point, as it's more transparent. I've said many a time I'd like to know the whys behind changes, not just the what the change is, so that we could understand where they're going with the change, and that's exactly what they did in that dev stream, so that's great. Thank you very much, Double G. Hello, Korokop. When is prime time? Prime time's not today. Don't know when the next prime time is, but they usually do them on Thursdays, I want to say. So, definitely not today. What's my thoughts on the Arcane Crystals? Now, that's an interesting one. There is a definite potential for power creep there. Potential for over-optimization. And it looks like it's going to take a very long time to get the crystals. To get to an ideal setup. Certainly with that 20% chance of a better one. So that could be interesting build-wise, but we'll see. Is my birthday next week? Yeah, in 2 days' time, my dude. 2 days' time. Yeah, I'll need to see how they actually go about implementing the crystals, how it all works out in the end. But there is potential for it to be done right, there is potential for it to be done wrong. And we'll have to see which of the two really happens and to what extent. One thing about it that does strike me, if they make it more difficult to achieve more than a couple a week, well, there are 5 crystal slots and 3 crystal types. It's 15 crystals to have all the options there for a single frame, and if the resource costs are prohibitive in switching them around between frames to test them out for stuff, that increases the number of crystals you want then to cover other frames or other circumstances. Then you've got the higher tier crystals, that 1 in 5 chance, so that takes it to even more crystal gathering. That's looking at weeks upon months of time gating potentially, from starting the content to getting it to the stage you want it to be at. But that's not weeks or months of gameplay. So we'll have to see how it comes about. Exactly, running over, yeah. Not 1 per week, as I said it's going to be more than that, because they said there is another means. But say, for example, with, what do you call it? With Iotans, there you can get plenty of them. Despite the fact there's a once a week alert, you can also pick them up in missions pretty readily. On the other hand, you've got Rivens, which you can get a chance at daily. You get about 2 a week from sorties if you do all sorties. And then you can get another 2 from Riven Slivers. But that's pretty much your limit. That's what I said right over, if the resources become prohibitive. Alright, we're on to a sniper only mission next, yep, and I've got a request for a turret Protea build. Okay, so let's grab a Protea. And I think my default build is actually quite favourable to that. Yep, we got all the duration, a little bit of range to help out, equilibrium, we got some good stuff going there, so let's run with that one. Let's grab my sniper rifle. And we are good to go. I mean, part of that could be a refresh, Bryson. Part of that can be a refresh. I do agree that the energy was different, but I won't draw any conclusions about who's having what effect or had what effect there, as if you're doing the same thing for years and years, it does become more stale. It does become more of the same. And that certainly affects people's energy. It's why I try to keep things different here on the stream. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. The waypoint is being a dick! It's why I try to keep things different on the stream. How did Because I don't want things to get stale for you, I don't want things to get stale for me. That's the whole point. This is not really a mission that fits a turret Protea, because you just kind of want to keep going. Gotta say, this is not one of the best choices. But we'll roll with it. I mean, I can certainly set up some turrets as we go. Just,
The moment you enter the holding area, they'll trigger the execution sequence. Rescue the hostage before it finishes.
So hope Sheldon's work for the companion system isn't gone. I don't think they'll get rid of anything directly. More, they'll see what they can adapt to the new design goals that are being brought about. Like I say, I have a good feeling about it all. I definitely have a good feeling about it all. Builder's better on endless. Builder's better on static locations. Whether that's endless or non-endless, the mission that is static, it works out better for. So like mobile defense, you are static for the majority of the mission because you are defending a location. Whereas, oh, I just died. I also forgot to equip my sensor again, didn't I? Oops. Give me more people. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely used to the bonus lives my Sentinel gives me, technically. There we are. Yeah, Larvae is very good on Protea because she can bundle up enemies and then use the turrets to blap into them even harder. If you're constantly on the move, her turrets are nowhere near as good because by the time the turrets are achieving something, you're another 300 meters that way. Booty Bandit, do something you find fun. Do something that engages your mind. Or, if you've not got anything like that, do something that engages your body. Yeah, do some press-ups, do some sit-ups. Get active, get your heart pumping, and then when you can't take any more of that, sit down and do something else that engages your mind again. Or just make a cup of tea, that often works for me. Something you want in Warframe we're never going to get, a 10-0 Tommy gun? I'm not even sure how that would really work. Like, what makes it different from other stuff? Ray was saying, I think it's also indicative that Rebecca admits that she now understands Steve's want to spoil everything. I mean, when you spend time at the helm of creating something, you definitely want to talk about it. That's just a fact. You absolutely want to talk about it. I had the same experience on a much smaller scale running Dungeons & Dragons groups. And the desire, the need to tell someone about what's been set up, about what's happening, about what could happen, what will happen, what got avoided. You just want to talk about it. But you can't spoil it to the players because it's usually not a good idea to tell them what they missed or what could have happened. Poll, prediction, but yes, thank you, Karakop. Guys, we're going into the third and final mission of today's sortie. So, what reward do you think we will get from this sortie? Use your blue spanner icon at the bottom of the chat window to make your prediction. Is it going to be a NASA sculpture? Is it going to be a booster? Is it going to be a ribbon? Or something entirely different? Who's to say? Well, you guys. And if you're right, you'll get a load of spanners for it.
And take them down. Do not let the target escape. The Nuke prototype has made
A normal Tommy gun, but with lots of 10-0 ornaments. See, I don't know much about what distinguishes a Tommy gun from any of the hundreds of other weapons that we have that are rifles, automatic rifles. What makes a Tommy gun so special? What needs to stand out to make it a Tommy gun? I don't understand that because I'm just not into guns enough to answer that. You're saying you'd like it? What are we missing? You got 3 Umbral Former and no inspiration. What should you use them on? If you've only got 3, that means you've already used the 1 or 2 that you need on Lavos, right? So that's great. Basically, any health-based frame, health and armor tanking, especially if it also benefits from strength, that's where your Umbral Formers go. Health, armor, strength frame loves Umbral Former. I can't see a thing. That time, chat, it was not my fault you got flashbangs. That was the game. That wasn't the wiki this time. That wasn't Notepad. That wasn't YouTube. That was the game itself. Alright, hurry up on that prediction, guys. We are very nearly at the end of this mission because this is not exactly a difficult one to do, is it? It's not exactly a difficult one. Would I like to host a D&D session on live with viewers, like a beginning session type? It's something I've considered in the past. It's not something I'm looking to do anytime soon, to be quite honest. A lot goes into it. A lot goes into D&D, and it needs the right people around for it. Arcane Catalyst. Woo! Alright, who said we'd get a catalyst? Who gambled on that? One person did. Snowblast gambled exactly 10 spanners on it. Just 10. So, Snowblast, you're absolutely laughing now. You are absolutely laughing on your reward there because you gambled 10 spanners and just got back 16,000. I think you're a winner, mate. I think you're a winner. You got a few extra spanners to play with now. You got some buttons you can press. Enjoy that. Stonks, absolutely, yeah. Stonks is the right response. Alright, I should probably get that building as well before I forget it exists. Let's get the Catalyst going. Catalyst is a nice one to pick up. Those are always nice. Let me just get this out of the way. Let me just get that out of the way. There we go. Grab a new former going. And let's grab a new Arcane Catalyst going. Excellent. That'll give me 6 of them. Lovely jubbly. Alright then. Let's get on to nuking. Now chat, if I ask you, what's a nuke frame? Not like the description, the names. What frames would you call nuke frames? Frames which have nuke potential to them. Not just once or twice, but actually consistently could nuke a map. What would you call out? You've already used the 2 on Lavos already for Umbrals? Fair do there, Gorilla, fair do. So I'm seeing Sarin, Lavos, Ember, Umbra. Umbra? Really? Rhino, Equinox, Mirage, Volt. Blind Guy, I'm not sure what you mean on that, but okay. Sevagoth? Okay, I'm missing some of the explanations here. Mesa, I don't know if I'd call Mesa a nuke. Mesa is the incredible DPS powerhouse, but she's DPS directly. To call her a nuke, I think, is stretching the definition of nuke into straight up, oh, can kill lots of things. That's not what a nuke is. That is definitely not what a nuke is. Nidus, again, I'm asking how, what? Gauss, yep, Gauss, yeah. Octavia, no. Nyx, not really. Not really. Nyx, you can build up damage on a 4th ability and pop it. There's the occasional mid-range explosion, to be honest. Recently getting into Equinox, any tips for her? Well, see we draw. I have got you quite a few tips, and thank you very much for the birthday wishes. So with Equinox, you've got a heck of a lot of ways you can go about making her happen because she is an incredibly versatile frame. I mean, you can see I've got multiple configs here. I've got a standard build which is all about using the high range main to just absolutely slap things. This is a build in progress. It's working with stuff, but yeah, you can take this a number of different ways. Mainly, you want high efficiency, high range. You can go for a sleep build, which is all about shutting those enemies down for a good duration. You're indeed. Spawn Pringle, thank you very much for resubscribing. You now got that lovely bronze badge next to your name. Cheers, my dude. Appreciate it. So we've got a Golden Insect build because, hey, why not? High range works out for it. Let's just use that high range whilst also blapping stuff to find loot. We've got a Gloom build because, hey, you know what? Gloom goes onto everything. This is work in progress, so there's an empty mod slot there. I think I've broken this build by the looks of it. Yeah, I've broken this build somewhere, somehow. So I'm going to need to look to fix that some way, somehow, some point. I might do with a flow, actually. I do a mid-rank flow. We'll just leave that for like it is for now. That should be fine. And then there's even team killing. If you go for a minimum strength, you can actually make it where enemies become a problem. You can actually make it where enemies become a problem. They start dealing more damage. And oh my word. Okay. Snore deciding it's about time to just drop 29 gifted subs out here. Good lord, that is quite a few. Thank you very much there, Snore. Giving it out to Goof222, to Bob Blue Fire, to X74, to Hawk, to Muzzins, to Matt Curly D, to Plasma PN, to TX Wood Zombie, to Purple2415, to Sloot for Deloot. That's an interesting name. Okay, to Flea Bargain, to Conniption34, to Clem-Killer007, to Nazurko, to Arg, to Eagle Talent45, Freezing Worm, Massive Legend 4923, to Kribby, to Funny Fred Fish, to Anatnith, to Netzuzao, to Alchemicon Silver, to Noble Warrior, to Beard of Power, to Simon Beach 92, to Adversitius, to Majestic Barbecue Sauce, and the Sunk in Gapolo. I think I've read that correctly. My word, Snore, thank you very much for the 29 subs for 29 years. I really do appreciate it, dude. Thank you very, very much. Anyone who's just got a sub there from Snore, make sure you are thanking him for that. And as I scroll, I think I've just missed some even more bits and pieces coming through because Quintus also coming in with the 29 gifted subs. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much there, Quintus, too. Giving it out to Hawk, and then some Roman numerals. I don't know what numerals those are. I'm not going to try and figure it out. But to Hawk, to Glacialist, to Hoff2, to Murder123, Corgi Primus, to Zaur Chaos, to Valkyrie, to Samu Franku, to Insomniverse, to Not a Doctor, to Space Cadet, to Pokester, to Ice Stars, to Nest Gamer, to Loafing, JJ27C4, to the Dragon Geddon, to Silux Rocks, to Fish Locust, to Friendly Rock Troll, to Denil Dill, Denil Dill, to is that Jose Cortrelva, I want to say, Saturn Blitz 24, to Killer Gang, to V4 Vodka, to Prime Nightbloom, to Goats Can't Game, to Ice Cool, and to Leonard PTXR. My god, Quintus as well. Thank you very much for all those gifted subs there. And Garacop also wanting in on the action, gifting out a gifted sub to a Renegade XT. You guys are awesome. Everyone who's just got themselves a gifted sub there, make sure you say thank you to the guys who gifted over to, because that is an incredible amount of generosity. I love you guys for that. Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, we have sniped straight into the level 5 hype train at 757%. You guys have just absolutely destroyed that one. Wow. Wow. Oh my, I'm scrolling through. I see a hydrate there from Wood Zombie. Cheers, guys. Rainuva somehow dodging all of those. Yeah, no, Swarm Pringle's got your back, Rainuva. Swarm Pringle has got your back with the gifted sub. Thank you very much, Swarm Pringle, for that there as well. Directly out to Rainuva. Appreciate it. Yeah. Snore single-handedly made 60% of viewers into subs, and then Quintus sorted out the rest of them, didn't you? Well, most of everyone. If you haven't got one, just smile very nicely, or maybe sort yourself. I don't know. One way or the other. Thank you very much, guys. That is really, honestly amazing. Thank you. Alright, so, yeah, the usual rule is if we hit a level 5 hype train, that means you guys get to decide where a former of some kind goes onto what equipment. So, yeah. A former or other item upgrade. So, things like a Excellence adapter is up on the cards as well, or a primary or secondary arcane adapter, that kind of thing. So if you have contributed to the hype train, or if you, in the next 1.5 minutes until it runs out, contribute to the hype train, you get a vote in on that. You do. Umbral, you ready? We've already done that. Yeah. For anyone curious as to, yes, I will follow through, we have already done this a few times before now, and Umbral, or Reformer. There's a reason this build is called Twitch's Fault. Because that happens. Yeah, that happens. So those of you who contributed, I hope you have a better idea than that one this time, please. That would be very, very nice. Quintus saying Bone Widow Former. Okay, I see. Another Bone Widow Former. X. Umbra on Skarner? Oh god. Korokop saying another on the Bone Widow one. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It looks like we're probably going to be leveling up a Bone Widow, aren't we? So many teacups. I know, it's going to keep going until it's gone through all of them. It's going to keep going until every single one of them has been counted. It's at Dental Dell at the moment, so that is... Oh no, it's a little bit ahead of that. I'd look at the stream side. Well, there's still quite a few names to go. Another half dozen. Maybe a bit more. Skarner is so painfully dull? Yeah, agreed. Bone Widow with the shank. I mean... Alright. So, yeah, we'll let you guys who've contributed have a think on that. Quintus giving his vote, Korokop's giving his vote, Snore's giving his vote. That still leaves Swarmed Pringle. And if anyone else contributes in the next few seconds as well, if you wanted to be part of that vote. But, yeah, alright. Up Snore's switching over to Bone Widow, yeah. I guess Bone Widow Former it is. Right then, well, I guess we're going to have to put Equinox to the side for a moment. Or, well, no, we'll still bring Equinox. I'm going to adjust this And Sensory Skull as well, coming in with a Prime sub. Sensory Skull, cheers, mate. Thank you. I don't know if you did get in on time on that hype train there for the emotes. I hope you did, honestly, but I'm not sure if there was just a second or two out on that. Fingers crossed Twitch is nice to you on that one, my dude. But yeah, wow, that was a lot of incredible support, guys. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. All right. I guess we're going to have to make some good on this. Now, you don't actually need a strength on a standard main build for Equinox. This was me playing around with some ideas. What you can do with this one, just as a general thing, is you can go for, if you form it a little bit better than I have done here, you can put on duration instead to focus down any duration-based abilities, or strength can buff up, pacify, and provoke. But this is all a work in progress to get some extra goodies out of all of this. Hello, Serenatas. Good to see you streaming again. Absolutely. Stream 3 days a week, in case anyone hadn't quite caught on. Alright, what weapon am I going to bring? You know what? Good old Foreman. Foreman just works. I'm bringing Foreman. It's just good. Swan Briggle again with another gifted sub out to Blind Guy. Cheers, my dude. I appreciate it. Teacups for everyone today. Teacups for absolutely everyone today, it seems. I love it. Let's bring my index build. Yep, I'll just bring my good old index build, but I will adjust this one to... Where is it? Does this not have... Okay, don't know why this index build doesn't have multi-shot on it. That's broken. Yep, don't know when that got screwed up. Okay. Is it? Oh, I must have just seen what Hammershot did to a build. Yeah, that was silly. Okay, don't know why that didn't have multi-shot on there. That was weird. Let's fix that now. And yeah, guess we're going to head on over to a bit of a quick railjack in order to level up Bone Widow because it just got formed. Oh no. I'm going to have to level it and then I can form her. Oh no! You guys are monsters. You realise that? I mean, you already knew that, yeah. You already knew that. I need to remind you, you're monsters. Yeah, and I can't add anything on right now, so I guess we're gonna have to go level it up, then we can form it. I'm not gonna level it twice in one stream, no. Nope, 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 nope. If we are doing this though, we're heading down to a relay. We're gonna head on down to Orcus Relay to help us out on this. I gave you the option. I know I gave you guys the option. Yeah, that's just how it goes. It's fine. Can you put the infested skin on Bone Widow, or is it Void Ring exclusive? I'm not actually sure on that, to be honest. I'm not sure. Needs to get some MR? Yeah, I'll get a little bit of MR from it. I'll get another, what, 400 points. So that's a thing. Alright, if we are leveling up stuff, I do need to do something very important to help us all out here. Let's do that. And that is to give us out an Affinity Blessing. I'm going to assume everyone's loaded in. Up. One Affinity Blessing. Just to make things that little bit quicker. Alright, let's head over to navigation. Oh, I see we just got a request come through from Maximage. Umbra from Necromech Friend. Okay, is there a particular Umbra build you want to see? Because I was looking to use Nuke Frames today, dude. Like, there is specifically the title of Nuke Frames. So, what did you want to see from Umbra? If we're leveling up a Necromech and also talking about Nuke Frames, how far do we want to get from the topic? Maximage? So I'm going to have a max form of Bone Window. I'm sure we'll reach a point where we'll have enough armor and call it a day. They'll find something else to upgrade. They'll find something else to do. Yeah, Maximage, what we're looking for, come on. Can't just drop a frame and call it a day. We've been over this now with Pick a Frame. I saw it, Rainuva, don't worry. You settled for anything? No, no. That's not how we do this now. That's not how we do this. Pick a frame is not pick a frame, drop an idea and run away. It's not, haha, just press button. It's, I would like to see something in particular. Some build, some approach, some practice, so I can learn how to be better at it. Speaking from your perspective. If you're just pressing a button, Maximage, I'm going to refund you the points. I'm just going to turn it down. You got to have an idea. If this isn't to help you be better with Umbra, we ain't doing it. Specifically and importantly because you're taking away from the nuke frames. Umbral Blade. You really are trying to use as few words as possible, aren't you? Gotta say, I don't value that very highly. Alright, we'll bring out Umbra. We've got Umbral Blade. Person who wants one of the most vanilla frames in the game wants one of the most vanilla things, a blade. Yeah. You realise he turns this off when we switch out of Umbra, right? It just turns it off. No power. But, well, we'll equip it. Let's see, I've got a Radvile approach. That'll do just fine. It's a basic run there. And what have we got build-wise? And yeah, I mean, it's Umbra, so it uses overall mods. Rolling Guard, we've got Chromatic Blade. Got some extra range for stuff. Firewalker because, hey, bullet jumps, healing, energy. Sure, let's do it. I seem disappointed? I do seem disappointed, yes. We're doing it, but I get the vibe of just pressing a button because, hey, frame. And that's not what it was meant to be there for. That's not what we're meant to be there for. So we'll do this one, because you did at least respond. You gave more of a reasoning, but I hope you understand why I'm not exactly enthused. Oh, bring Zenric. Do I have time to do that? Nope, I don't. Oh well. Ooh. Okay, they break. Didn't break, that's good. And I say, how about a little bit of Mirage with the 4 augment? Like the ESO build, does that count as a nuke? I wouldn't call it a nuke. I know that, again, the whole concept of nuke has been smeared across a million things. In not just Warframe, but in general. Can I dash, please? Why is it not dashing? Hold up. Yeah, I am sprinting, aren't I? Walk. Sprint. So why can't I sprint in my railjack? I'm trying both shift keys and it's not working. My jump isn't working. Tactical jump. Okay, cool. Something broke. Oh, I can't cast abilities either. We're just gonna abort this mission. I'm not doing a mission where it's breaking. So let's take us back to the dojo. I hope it brings everyone. And we'll just try again. We'll just try again. I don't know what the hell happened there. Maximum Magic say original intention was for a friend when you run around as Necromech. Okay, I mean you can say that. You can expand on having him as a support alongside the Necromech. I know you put just Umbra for Necromech friend, but you don't need to put things so condensed. It comes across as just pressing a button for the sake of a button. You see what I'm talking about with the difference. Compared to Adam Alec matching him with the nuke frame topic, asking for Mirage with the 4th augment, like the ESO build, wondering if that counts as a nuke. Alright, well at least we can switch this to Zenric before we reactivate the mission. And now we'll go in. Now why Umbra just turns off the, what do you call it? Yeah, why he turns off the Exalted Blade when you go into Operator, I don't know. He just does. It's a bit silly, but yeah. We never got around to finishing that bit out there. Oh well. Nice dojo room? Thanks. We got a few nice rooms around here. We got a few decently decorated bits. That is not one of them. that was just a boring other room. Oh, and we're in ship. Meanwhile, NUKES stays active when you have transference out. Yeah, it's because Umbra, with its sentience, specifically deactivates Exalted Blade, which is kind of weird. Are they making that for Umbra and Equinox as well, CB? Oh, okay. There we go. Now we can boost. Look at the speed difference. That speed difference. And all we have to do now is disable one priority target, which I think takes longer than our original objective, but sure, we'll take it.
I think they need to sample our wares. Auto factory, deploy Oryx robots.
Is this mission the best place to level a Necromech? It's one of the better ones, because you can use Necromech only in the open worlds and Railjack. The open worlds aren't exactly amazing for XP. These are higher level missions than you'll get in most open worlds circumstances, and also they are separate unique farms, which can certainly help out for those who are trying to get Railjack intrinsics, that kind of thing. If they're looking to get ash parts, whereas my Necromech, there it is. Yeah, because it's one of the few places you can actually bring your Necromech, it kind of stands out. And then survival, you've just got loads of enemies you can fight continuously, which is always a good thing. Can I run through here? I apparently can. Ah. There we go, that's beautiful. Yeah, I suppose, CB. I suppose. This is Veil survival? No, this is Pluto, because on Veil you don't get any ash parts. So we're doing the Pluto one for anyone in the squad who happens to need ash. Just as a matter of course, really. I'm surprised I can actually get the Necromech through here, but there we are. Oh, I've got all of my run energy drained, haven't I? Can I have some more running energy, please? There we are. You prefer the Nama bounties? I mean, fair enough. The Nama bounties are actually pretty decent. They are a decently high level for leveling purposes. So yeah, they can work out. I'm not a fan of bounties overall, though, I'll be honest with you. I'm really not a fan of bounties. Sometimes they bug out, sometimes they get all wonky, but mostly they're just boring to me. Frankly, they are. There's not a single bounty that feels inspired. I know we're doing a survival mission, but even the load into the survival is more involved. Okay, it looks like I'm running backwards to that guy, though. True, yeah, there's infinite affinity range here in Railjack. That can help out as well. That means you are more reliably getting stuff from your allies. Come on, let me through. No, let me through! Holographic displays being physical. Come on, where is that annoying one? I might. Ah. Oh, I didn't kill him. Well, the second shot did. Let's go to the terminal. I might as well switch to Warframe at this point. The actual killing bit's done.
Auto factory. Show the Tenno the Oryx units you've built. Launch ram sleds.
Electric Rock. Not the best for me and my Sentinel, but it's fine. We'll just ignore that. I think there's someone ahead of me who's going to get to the objective. Yeah, they did. Okay, that's fine. I'll just teleport out. You're never able to beat Void or Fix? It's a toughie. It is definitely a toughie. One I'd recommend for teams of people rather than solo. I'll just get that fixed. Alright, get us into the Corpus Pillar Snore. Let's wait for him to park up the ship somewhere. Wherever he's ready. That looks like we're in spot. In we go. Do I think Excalibur rework will make it more interesting to me personally? Probably not, to be honest. It'll make his abilities slightly more powerful. Slash procs are going to be a good thing, of course. Oops. But even then, he just doesn't feel that inspiring as a frame overall to me. I'll give him a look. I'll give him a tryout with the changes. But I can't guarantee that it'll be any more interesting to me. He's just very vanilla. The fact that his javelins will be uncapped can be a positive. His slash dash being more effective can be a positive. It's still using stat stick all the same way. They didn't announce any changes to that, so that's maybe less positive. Don't worry about it, King. You're still here. You're still here. We're only, what, 45 minutes in. I mean, Tibi, if you want to talk about what you'd hope to see, sure. I won't pay too much attention to fanfics if you get into detail, though. Because at the end of the day, I tend to try and focus on what exists rather than what we would like to have exist. Because otherwise, and I say this pretty much every time the topic comes up, otherwise we end up setting expectations which the game is simply not going to meet and disappoint ourselves. We dream about a game that could be rather than a game that is. We do tend to make the game that is feel less fun and exciting. So yeah, if you want to talk about some other ideas you have, sure, to a limit. To a limit. Alright, where even is my frame at the moment? My frame is down there running around like a muppet, isn't he? Or is he? Oh no, he's up there. He was up there next to me and he was shooting with a Foreman. That's Umbra for you. Shoot with a Foreman. Because why be the sword guy when you can use a Foreman, you know? What I think about vault buffs? The vault buff to the shield is a pretty big one. That always being locked to just your secondary was a bit crappy, so the fact that it's no longer locked to your secondary, that's nice. I do like that. I can't remember what more they said about the shield. And they're looking to bring up the baseline for the abilities, as well as making Shock cheaper to cast. Shock does deserve to be cheaper to cast, because it doesn't do a lot. Making that just cheaper is good. And bringing up the minimum of the abilities, so they are more effective for newer players without having to level their frame, that is a good thing. Because a lot of frames just kind of suck until you got them to level 30, which is not ideal, really. Speed debuff removed as well. Ah, yeah, there we are. One other thing I would like to see with the shields is make it that when you've got the augment that allows other people to pick up your shields, we can have more than one picked up at a time. Because right now, only one person can pick up a shield, even if you deploy 4. Adam Malik, thank you very much for the 2,500 bits. I appreciate that, my dude. Cheers. Oh. That is wonderful. Thank you very, very much. No Warframe dating simulator discussion. Can you guys just like keep it in your pants forever? That'd be great. Yeah, thanks. We don't come to Warframe for you to turn them into sex objects, quite frankly. I find it a bit weird. There are not a lot of things I would get judgy on, but that's one where I kind of go, come on now. Come on. I'm here to play a looter shooter. Umbra has legendary sword, uses shotgun. Yeah, I mean, technically the Foreman's not a shotgun, but yeah. He doesn't know that the other mode exists. No Spectre does. Hello, Kunak, how you doing? How are we doing on that leveling, by the way? We're on 10 of 32. Oh, boy. I hope the guy's getting more spawns over their side, wherever they are, so I'm not getting loaded from here. I should probably move towards them, that might help. Let's see. Oh, well, actually, we got a couple here, actually, haven't we? Let's see. Can I see where everyone is on the map? There's a Setup Wisp over that way, or Setup Wisp Motes, and then a Lavos. So let's head over that way. How do I get to that way? It's not on my map. I don't know how to get that way. Excellent. Hidden locations, my favourite. I'm going to guess this way. Why am I shooting at loot instead of gathering it? I'm shooting at people. They just happen to be near the loot. That waypoint is on Sepulon Rage. Where is that waypoint? And mine is gone. Never mind, we got more enemies here now. I'll just shoot more of these. Morzalongo Burr.
When you need it, extraction is ready.
Alright, so 5 minutes we got 55,000 base XP or affinity. And that is with a 25% boost. Not a huge amount, I'll be honest with you, actually. Not a huge amount. You get more Bone Widow XP by using the sword. Oh, that's a good point, actually, yeah. I don't know if I've modded this. Oh, the swing. Why does big have to mean clunky and unwieldy? I don't like that. I prefer the gun that go burr. I don't think I've modded this, have I? That does not feel like modded damage to me. Also, I'm pretty certain that Umber is stealing some kills. That would not be ideal. When Umber is a Spectre mode, what kind of Spectre does he fall under? He's a Spectre, a Tenno Spectre. He acts like any other Spectre does, any other Tenno Warframe Spectre. So he'll use the same AI as just a normal Excalibur Spectre that you can summon. The difference being is that he's using your weapon rather than a Spectre weapon. So it's got your mods on it, and it's got your Warframe's health and armor, that kind of stuff. But overall, he still acts the same. Which means he's a bit of an idiot, to be honest. I don't doubt, Quintus. I don't doubt you can get plenty of kills, but it just doesn't feel fun. Maybe I need to have some attack speed mods on here. 'Cause that's just... Ugh. Those aren't even heavy attacks. How bad is a heavy attack? Oh god, no. 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 I cast the heavy attack and then I wait until I turn 30 and it hits. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I'm done with the... That. I want the gun. Give me the gun. Gun go burr. That's me. That's my Umbra walking towards me. Don't worry about it, Maximo. Don't worry about it. You know for the future what Pick a Frame is all about. The big change with Pick a Frame was to bring it back to the original intention that if someone wants to see a particular frame in action, to see how it works, to learn from it, to solve whatever practical problem they have, then yeah, that's great. I make an educational YouTube channel, why not an educational stream? What happened instead was, hey, let's make Mr. Streamer Man play the bad frames, her. That's not good. That was the opposite of good. And so I need to reinforce the rules on that. Bring it back down to, you know, come on. Let's try and be practical, guys. That's what the stream's about. It's what the entire channel is about. Practicalities. There is nothing practical about saying, hey, let's use your Rady for 15 captures. That'll be fun. It's not. I don't know if it's a hitbox as a sword here, or if it's the if I just haven't modded it, and if I modded attack speed, that'd be better. Like how attack speed and fire rate is great on the Morzalon. I fire a lot faster than a lot of people's do. But I'll definitely need to look at that because it feels rough at the moment. Does Arcane Velocity affect sprint speed? I don't remember what Arcane Velocity is. Link it in the chat and see what it says. How high is my Uranium use percentage? High enough that when we did a stream of focusing on my least used frames and moving up the list, we never actually got to Uranium. Let's put it that way. After 3 hours of using the frames I don't normally use, we still didn't use Uranium. Yeah. Do I have any trick except for Cyanoid Helio Core on scanning Orphix and Sentience in a specific Railjack missions? No, not really. I've never looked into scanning those particular enemies in missions, so no, I don't really have one on that for you, my dude. Alright, another 5 minutes, we're up to 104,000 basic speed. So we had 55 first split. We've gone up by, what, 49 the second split. So that time with the sword was less effective, apparently. Again, I think I've not modded it properly, if at all. I mean, Canuck, you can get a Helios in place to do some scanning if you get your Warframe there before the Orphix appears and drops the field. If you do that, then your Helios is going to be on location to do some scanning, assuming it doesn't get insta-blacked by the Sentience. That is a trade-off. But yeah, otherwise it's probably just going to be down to, you know, ordinary scanning. Oh, so he only attacks people on 10%? Yikes, I didn't realise they were that bad. At least, if I had looked at it in the past, I've forgotten. There are many reasons why Arc Melee is mostly just ignored. Yeah, that is a thing. Give me well, Kanak. If it works out, let me know. I'd like to know for certain if the Helios trick I say would actually work out, or if it does just die. Either way, that's useful information to have. Everyone learns from that. See, who needs a sword when gun go burr? I've always been more of a gun user in Warframe. Even when guns were objectively weak than melee, I've always been more of a gun user. It's just good. It's just good. Did I hear the changing memeing strike? I didn't hear what? Also, you gotta love having that extra height jump on it. Extra jump height might not seem important on a Necromech, but on tiles like this, it really is. It enables so much more freedom of movement without having to be hyper-specific in your positioning. It is definitely a good pickup. You're memeing. Ah, okay, gosh. I'll just ignore you then. Yeah, I'm pretty certain the best way to level Arc Melee is to have a friend do the mission and you just kind of absorb the XP. And that's a terrible way to be told to level stuff. Let someone else play the game for you should never be the answer. Ever. Unless the question is, how can I not play the game and still get the rewards? The answer should not be, let someone else play the game for you. That's one of the reasons I've talked about before now. Missions could be moved towards having more of a an objective-focused reward scheme rather than a kill-focused reward scheme. So that the kills are the means to the end rather than the end themselves. But that comes down to these own design principles. If they want to go for a kill focus, they've gone for a kill focus. We either like it or play something else, you know? There's a melee attack speed for Necromech itself. Oh yeah, does that affect just the Necromech melee, or does that affect also the Exalted Iron Bride? Do we want to get max level on Bode Widow? Yeah. We got to max it out because then I've got to former it. Because you guys requested to form it. You guys specifically hit a level 5 hype train and said, do this. We have an agreement, you and me. You being you, the stream, me being the streamer, obviously. We have an agreement. We hit a level 5 hype train. We form a something. We upgrade a bit of gear as is demanded. And you demanded this one. There are certain limitations, like no more Umbrals will go onto your Rayleigh. Not be replacing one former with another just to wreck stuff. It has to be an upgrade. Wish Rhino's Roar still affected Necromex? What does and doesn't affect Necromex is kind of odd at times, but it's not like we need it, especially not with Void Rig. Do I like Shield over Void? I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
The more successful we will be. When you are ready, go to extraction.
I need a bit more context on that one. We're at 18, we're at 153,000, so we went up by another 49k there, yeah. Looks like we're at a solid 49k per rotation, so it's gonna take us a while. Because I need, I think like 500,000 to max this out, and we have got a 25% buff as well. This is, yikes. Leveling do take long.
According to all known laws of aviation,
Shield or Void Rig?
there is no
you mean,
way the bee
or
should
Bone
be
Widow
able to
or Void
fly.
Rig? I prefer Void Rig.
Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
Animalic, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits, and reminding everyone, yes, there are voice lines over on Patreon for those who are on tier 3 or above, and that includes requesting the intro to the Bee movie. Gotta say, one of the weirder requests I've had, but you know, there we go. Cheers, Animalic. Cheers on that. Okay, wow, what? Did you hear that fire rate from Umbra then? But, you'd think he had a bloody machine gun, not a shotgun. Certainly not a shotgun that has 6 shots in it. That's ludicrous, right there. I mean, it's a wisp buff, but crikey. Umbra, stop being an idiot. Reposition. There we go. Yeah, I think he's definitely getting a few of the kills. And he might be taking a lot of the affinity I could otherwise be having, now I think about it. Umbra might be actively detrimental to levering your Necromech. Fun fact. I don't know why I just ran around there, to be honest. That was nothing. How did you never think of using Umbra alongside the Necromech? I don't know. You're too busy going, oh my god, corn on the cob machine to think about Warframes? I mean, that seems reasonable. Okay, that took me a few attempts, but we got there. Okay, where have the enemies all gone? We're supposed to be distracting them for survival. Where are they? Hello? There you are. There they are. Yeah, just, this whole mech just feels slow. It just feels slow, and in a game like Warframe, slow doesn't really vibe with me. I just don't... Did the enemy get impaled on his hand? Yep. So that's one of the things that Bone Widow can do. They can stab, grabbing them, and I believe that also provides a heal. Let's see, if I take some damage here, and then... Shonk. Yep, it's a heal. This ability, which kind of lifts and groups enemies slightly, but it's a bit wonk, I'll be honest. It just feels wonk. Second ability is a defensive shield to block damage. Like so. And then fourth ability is Sword. Yeah. Still not my favourite. Void Rig. Its first ability a bit wonk, but it's a slowing field. Second ability, bad. Third ability, major defense. It's Iron Skin, basically. Fourth ability, Nuke. Well, DPS by my own description, but yeah. Void Rig just feels better. Something that's clunky, it feels like it has the power to deserve to be clunky. Want to see a Necromech using Arch Melee Punchy Fist? That could be curious, yeah. A Necromech that goes around fisticuffs everything. That's an image to have in one's head, yeah. I'd use Ferox to gather enemies for a big Iron Skin, but they're dying too fast. Yeah, the enemies are a bit, you know, they're corpus, they die. The corpus have to do quite a bit for their shields to actually matter. Because unlike the Grenadier, which put armor on their health, corpus just give themselves extra hit points in the form of shields and then just die anyway. The regenerating bit of them usually doesn't come into play. How are we doing then? We're on 196, quite a bit more to go. We are a little under halfway there, I think. Yeah, we're about halfway there. 507 strength vault, oh, fair do. That is a lot of strength. Hope the rest of your build supports using it. Hello Warlock, how are you doing today? The Widow's so good it's your second favourite Necromech. Funny man with a funny joke. How do I feel about the most recent dev stream? I am very satisfied with that dev stream. I've watched other dev streams in the past and kind of gone, cool, yeah, we got some info, okay, interesting. And just honestly not really felt that worth my time. This dev stream, it took 2 hours, and that 2 hours was pretty much worth it all the way through. Granted, I watched the VOD on 125% speed, because, you know, my time is important. But yeah, they jam-packed it full of not just details about what is going to be. They went into the full spec about what is, why they're looking at it, what their considerations are, how they consider things and put them together, the changes they're looking to bring in, why they're looking to do those particular changes, what else they considered but have put to the side. Lots and lots of very good info to really get behind the scenes, which is what a dev stream should be for. In my opinion, anyway. To really get into the nitty-gritty as to why they're doing stuff, to be transparent, and they've achieved that. I told them as much. I've given my feedback. It was a wonderful dev stream. I look forward to the good news that means for the game itself. Was there anything from the dev stream I didn't in particular like? Oh, that's a very interesting question. That is a very interesting question. I would say that having the two guys on the left not really having a lot to contribute, not planning a spot for them really, felt a bit awkward. It felt like the Reb, Megan and Pablo show. I'll be honest. Now, the other two, I believe that they're new to being on the dev streams, if I'm not mistaken. So they're finding their place. But I would have liked them to have been scripted a bit more of the place. Just make it seem a little bit less awkward. But that will come with them getting used to being on those streams. Just like everyone gets used to changes in their job role. That's just how you do. Screw you, not a fire. What do I think about the dev stream? I think I just answered that one, so I'll just keep that one there. Reb really should have let Megan do her stuff, however. No, I think actually it was in a pretty balanced spot. I feel like the transitions between discussions should have been handled more by Megan, or will be handled more by Megan as time goes on. But the host of any kind of scenario like that, any kind of group setting, the host is more the facilitator for the others to bring out their discussions. They join the topics. They will ask those important leading questions that allow the topic expert to then go on to detail. But at the end of the day, the host shouldn't be the centerpiece. They are the bridge. So then the directors of different departments, like the game design lead or the creative director, can say what they have to say about their respective departments. So I'm not too fussed about the balance between Rep Megan there. Megan could be a bit more of a bridge, but when we're talking about the creative design direction of Warframe, we want to be listening to the creative lead. That's how I see it. But there's no game past the fact that Reb does have a hell of a lot more experience on leading the streams as a host than Megan does. It's going to be more natural, yeah. They'll find their flow. Just like the guys on the left will find their flow in having their sections to talk about. Certainly when the streams upcoming may focus on their departments more so than on game balance. Game balance was a very, very big topic of the recent dev streams. Of course, they got a lot of time from the right side of the couch rather than the left. Oh, hey Ruben. Happy birthday to you, my dude. Mine's in 2 days' time. What are my thoughts on the Archon crystals? You're interested on how necessary they are. Well, that's an interesting concept. Something necessary in a game. That is a very interesting concept right there. To this point in the game, most people have found a way to do most of what they want to do with what we already have. So what it seems like to me is that they add more options. Still not done. So adding in more options means that, say for example, if you've got a bunch of armor crystals, you can take a Warframe that isn't normally very tanky in health and armor and make them tanky in health and armor. More options usually buffs up on that side. My concern would be power creep in making Warframes even better at what they already do, rather than adding options to allow Warframe to do different things. I'm always a fan of side grades over upgrades, so we'll have to see how that pans out. My other concern with them is in the time it takes to get them. Now, I saw recently, I think it was on Reddit, someone talking about how they had a friend who started Warframe 2 weeks ago. They've already gone through the new war. They've gone on to the Zariman and Steelpath content, and that's cool. That's cool. 2 weeks to get there, that seems perfectly reasonable, unless they're playing like a ridiculous amount of time and it's actually a fluke. But Warframe is pretty good at time gating things. And when I say pretty good, I mean pretty frequent at doing that. Pretty frequent at putting in time gates, which you can't get around through playing, you get around through just waiting. Which isn't really getting around it. The issue there is that if we're looking at crystals which apply to one frame at a time, rather than mods which apply to any frame you want to put them on at a time, with 5 crystal slots and 3 different types of crystals, and then 2 variants of said crystals, because there's the upgraded one which you have a chance of getting, that's a lot of crystals. Sure, you can move around for whatever expense they decide to do, but that's still a lot of crystals. The more you have to move around, the more management that is, the more it seems to punish for trying out different things, because it adds tedium, potentially. I wonder how long that's going to take to build up a set, and therefore how that's going to affect overall people's ability to work together on creating and working in builds. So I have my concerns, but at the same time I also have seen a lot of good from this team already. So I trust them to deliver something good. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, the grapple move is a big heal. It's a big part of Bone Widow's survival, is the ability to put up a shield and the ability to just straight up say, no, I'm not dead. I'm fine. I've got loads of health. Bone Widow is tanky. I just prefer Void Ring. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on how crystals actually function, what they offer, how easy it is to experiment, because it's all well and good being able to say, oh yeah, you can switch a crystal over for this small cost, but if the small cost itself is time gated, as helmet resources are, you can only refill the helmet so much in a day. If the resources to switch the crystals around are time gated, that reduces experimentation. If the resource costs are high, that reduces experimentation. That makes it prohibitive to want to try things out of the mold, because if you do so, you're throwing resources down the drain for something that might not actually pan out. And that always feels a bit rough, especially when those resources are limited. So that is one of my bigger concerns overall. You think like with the helmet system that usually people will look for the one or two right answers. They expect there's going to be that because resource costs can be quite daunting. Certainly with the time gate restriction on how often you can refill those resources. Who wants to try throwing a mean build onto a Warframe? If that means then locking yourself out of doing something else. For someone like myself who has a bajillion resources on hand for most things, it's not as bad. For other people, it is, because resources are limited. Hinders experimentation. We'll see how it all pans out. Alright, directional shield. Just gives me some extra tank. And... oh, I'm in a nullifier bubble. Screw you, nullifier. Ruining my day. And you, nullifier, ruining my day. There we are, I'll just heal off that, thank you. Pablo said there was a power that could replace Arcane Energize effectively enough. Yeah, he mentioned about ones that would give energy, and he said if you sack all 5, could replace Arcane Energize. Arcane Energize is a very high tier item, so say something could replace that when you max it out. Again, we'll have to see how the specifics pan out. I know they don't want to give away too much so far, but we're just going to have to wait and see, really.
The longer you fight, the more successful we will be. When you need it, extraction is ready.
If you want to reach Legendary 2, you need to invest everything in Warframe. Nope. Legendary 2 does not require you to invest absolutely everything in Warframe. You can max out your mastery while still leaving most of your gear in the dirt. You don't require Former for anything other than the rank 40 items, and the items require Former to build. You do not require to use a potato in any single item. You are not required to open up extra slots. You are not required to add on Arcanes. You are not required to use any specific mods. No Endo investment is technically required. No, Legendary 2 is not maxing out everything in Warframe. I strongly disagree on that. Will Arcane Energize drop in price? I mean, maybe. It's still going to be difficult to get a hold of. That's most of where the price for Energize comes from. Not just that it's good, but it's also really damn hard to get a hold of. At least in any reasonable quantity. And it's still going to remain a no-brainer good item. But mostly, again, wait and see. If you want to sell your stocks because you're scared of the price, then sell them because you're scared of the price. I'm not much on trading and speculative investments into commodities that can jump up and down. You'd need to speak to someone who is a more businessy person in that regard, who does trade in commodities. In fact, of anyone, probably the right person to speak to on that will be Neoness. They do a hell of a lot of trading, and they demonstrated they know what they're talking about in that arena. So they might be one to check in with. How many forms does it take to max all Cooper Tenet weapons? Well, you need 5 per item. Multiply how many items you have. I can't remember exactly how many there are. I think it's 19 Kuva weapons, 12 Tenet weapons. There's 31, so that's 155 Former, I think. And then you've got, obviously, here, Bone Widow, Necromech, that's another 10 Former. You've got the Paracesis, I want to say. I think it's that one that goes up to 40 as well. That's another 5. Some of those you don't need to do to fully max out on Legendary 2, as it were, because Legendary 2, you can get over the mark, not just minimally reach it. I do feel like I'm going to need to start focusing more on my tank here. I do find myself taking a couple more hits now. Yeah, if you want to max out all of them, you can do, but there's not a requirement to do so. Many of the Kuva weapons fall behind in terms of capability. Many of them don't require max former to be as good as they can get. The build reaches its max point if you're using a potato as well. Ability not ready. Oh, okay. That's a thing. Best place in Necromech farming? I mean, you can only farm Necromechs in certain locations already. If you mean leveling, Railjack Survival seems to be a pretty great location overall. Also, Nama Bounty, we've been told are good. Yeah, take your pick there. Ember, someone needs to pay for the game. I mean, yeah. Cosmetics cover a lot of that as well. If you want to pick up formers for plat instead of the blueprints, you can absolutely do that. How good is Widowshield at stopping damage? Hard to say, I'll be honest with you. I haven't noticed it doing a huge amount for me. I think it's directional, which doesn't help. Yeah, it's reflecting the damage there, but it's not doing a lot, I'll be honest. It doesn't feel like it's doing a lot, so... Just taking the healing when I can get it seems to be more effective for me. I don't think I can cast that healing option when I've got the shield up as well, which is another detriment to it. How are we doing here? 29, just a few more levels to go. We're nearly there. Since we have 50 unique Warframes, what style idea would I have for a new one? I would be interested in seeing a Warframe based on the Aurora. The Northern Southern Lights. Certainly they could tie that in with a bit of Norse mythos. Well, with the whole northern part of it. Or they could go with a trickster approach, something based on light and manipulation. They could go with something based on more of a hard, like very sci-fi-esque approach. Bridges and the like. So I feel like there's a lot of option there that can be worked with to make an Aurora theme really stand out. Not to mention, it'll be pretty and flowy. And that sounds good. Yeah, because they, like you say, Bifrost, they could go the way of a frame that uses the Aurora as a movement tool. It could be a manipulation tool, damage tool, lots of options. Lots of options right there. And I don't think it really clashes with anything that exists. There's not really a light-based frame as far as I'm aware. We've got lightish abilities. You've got things like Lantern, you've got whatever Wisp's fork is called. Soulgate? Yeah, Soulgate. They play game. Thank you very much, my dude. Following the accounts on YouTube for a while, but it's so nice seeing you blow up. Oh, cheers. It is crazy to see where I'm at compared to where I was. Seriously, the support from you guys is absolutely incredible. Always has been and continues to get ever better. I love you guys for it. I genuinely mean that. It came up on Discord the other day. The release of Steel Path happened after I started my channel, but not a long time after it. Steel Path came out when I had less than 300 subscribers on YouTube. 300. Now here we are over 50,000. I mean, there's 141 of you watching right now. So, yeah, no. That's quite the shift in just over 2 years. 2.5 years ago, I was no one. Y'all didn't know me at all. So seriously, the support you guys give is incredible. I love it. Thank you very much. Especially those of you who subscribe. Sorry, got something in my throat there. Don't know what that was. Aurora Ephemera would be pretty. Oh yeah, could you imagine? Just this wispy bit going around. Have one around your head and one around your legs to represent north and south. That'd be cute. Doubly so if they gave it a special feature with Wisp. When Wisp does a little split into two, one stuck on one, one stuck on the other. while she does the idle animation, that'd be a double cute. Like, that'd be an instant sell right there. Yeah, there's a toxic ephemera. You could go for something specific. You want to see a puppet Warframe? I mean, we're close on that with Necros. Because he's got puppets, they just happen to be dead now. But yeah, Necros with his shadows, soul punching, raising those up. That kind of fits the bill. Especially as if you use the Orwin for his fourth ability. I forget the name of it. Basically links him up. He has literal strings to his shadows. But he's kind of there. In the very grim Warframe sense. How are we doing? Rank 31, we're nearly there. Just a little bit more needed. What you doing? We're just leveling up this as the viewer reward for the level 5 hype train. They wanted to see a Bone Widow leveled up and formed. So we're doing exactly that. It's taking a bit. It's definitely taking a bit, but we're nearly there. Yeah, he's more of a necromancer. He is a necromancer. But necromancy is a form of puppetry in Warframe sense. It is definitely a form of puppetry. Oh, was that it? No, not quite. Not quite there yet. Don't want to leave this any longer than we need to, because I know that we've been here for 40 minutes! Which is a while. So this is Pluto Proxima's Railjack Survival mission. Pluto Proxima, Railjack Survival.
Rookwood Arcane operative just found.
31 still, we're at the 40-minute mark.
Extraction is available if you
Yeah, there's loads of different ways to go with that max match, yeah. Loads of different ways. Yeah, these enemies are definitely betraying their hit points now, aren't they? Definitely showing off their hit points a bit more. 32, we're there. Let's go. GG's to the chat, to squads, they know. We can finally depart. Nope, out of energy on this sprint. Not my very highest one. What's my take on Cynax's crowd control capabilities? Well, as soon as we actually get our hands on him, I can let you know on that. Have to wait and see on that, dude. Someone just teleport themselves rather than form up. Come on. You can bring everyone home. Single ability. Ah! Ta-da! Let's get us out of here. Don't know what's going on with my minimap, but let's get out of here. GG's all round on that one. Yeah, I could see that, Brother Oni. I could see that. Some of the Warframe would be cool. Could be, yeah. We can have some bits on that line, but yeah, I could see it. And we got a decent amount of bits and pieces from all of that lot. We didn't end up actually getting anything Ash there, despite 4 hits on it, but hey-oh, that happens. That happens. Railjack frame? I mean, technically Severgoth, thematically speaking. Alright, let's pop out of the dojo. We're doing our bits here. Let's form up the Bone Widow, and then we can get cracking back on with the AoEs. Bada bing, da da boom. Let's do it. Bone Widow, upgrade. Alrighty, let's see. I'm going to pop this former on you. Why not? Why not? There we are. And let's see. Slide efficiency, strength, slide, version, ability duration, engine efficiency, ability efficiency, engine max. Engine max or slide efficiency. Slide efficiency I think would end up being effectively better overall, because I mostly use the engine for sliding. We'll pop that one on for now. Yeah, that'll do. We can do more work with that another time. What's the ticket for? Exclamation mark raffle if you want to check it out. Did I mod the blade? Good question. Let's see. Did it have mods on it? It did not, no. So that's why the blade felt terrible. It was completely unmodded. So let's change that, shall we? 16 drain for pure damage. Yikes. Okay. Wow. That hurts. Sure. Let's do it. Melee range? Yeah, I suppose that would be good. That would be good. Let's get some cold and toxin for just good old viral, because sure, why not? And apparently the rest of the mods I haven't actually upgraded ever. That's a thing. I could go for Astral Slash for some more slash on that, because that could work out. Hello, Toon Guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, let's pop that on there. I'll upgrade that in a moment, so that'll take up another 5. So we've got 14 to play with. I suppose the crits are kind of necessary, aren't they? Yeah, crits are good. We just need the crit damage one, which is that one there. That's going to take a bit. Okay, maybe not that after all, then. We'll go with this. I can only upgrade it 8 pips to fit it. Let's do that, then. Is Deimos the only place to get Necromech mods? You can get some of the mods through transmutation. Quite a few through transmutation, in fact. Otherwise, yes. Through Deimos missions, missions, shop rewards, that kind of thing. What happened to Glaive that rose so much in popularity? So, the big thing for Glaive is that Glaives were buffed in their handling, so they were made to handle better, they were made to explode better, they were given specific mods to buff them up as well. So things like Volatile Quick Return didn't always exist, that blast radius is kind of a big deal. And with all that as well, Glaive Prime having a guaranteed slash proc on its heavy attack with no damage fall off, it just became the absolute go-to. People started putting all the different pieces together of what Glaives were made capable of, and Glaive Prime here is the absolute stonker, because slash procs are insanely good in this game. If you've got a high damaging slash proc, that kills pretty much everything. Yeah, pretty much everything, unless it's status immune or just shuts down the proc somehow. It's a winner. Even against the Acolytes, which are status resistant, you can only hit them with 4 slash procs at once. Glaive Prime doesn't care about that, because it's not hitting them with 20,000 tiny slash procs, it's hitting them with 1 or 2 giant slash procs. And again, that just carves through them. So yeah, AoE, high damage, no fall off, slash procking, infinite ammo, ranged weapon. Yeah, that kind of gets people's attention. That kind of gets people's attention. Alright. Glaives are ranged weapons doing melee damage, basically, yeah. Basically. Don't worry about it, Sennifer. You couldn't have known how changes were going to go. Nothing to regret there. You sold with what you were happy with. Nothing to regret. Sounds like Glaive will lose its headshot hitbox. Honestly, I never tried aiming for headshots with Glaive. I know it can do them, but it was never a focus. You could just do it anyway. Right, so Adamelec, saying about Mirage with the 4 augment for the ESO build. Adamelec, if you're still here, I'm actually going to counter that request with a different Mirage build. Because you see, with the 4th ability, I did argue that with Prism Guard, it's not really nuke, it does a hell of a lot of damage to a hell of a lot of enemies. But it's not really a nuke in the way it activates. It's not a anyone, anywhere, through walls, just up. What is closer to that is actually this build here, the Explosive Legerdemain build. Because that just sets up a net of explosives. Just decimates an entire area with them. It is lower damage, so it doesn't scale as well. But it does very good at normal Sanctuary Onslaught, which is why I'm going to take this build for demonstrative purposes. And the rest of that is all good as is. Now, I do notice we've lost everyone out of the squad because I left out of the dojo. So, first come, first serve. First people to message me, I'll bring you to the squad and we'll get cracking on this next mission. We'll go into Sanctuary Onslaught. How would I go about building an augmentless Hydroid? Is casting speed something I want? Honestly, Hydroid I feel is just overall in a poor position for what his abilities are and can do. It depends on what you're trying to achieve with him, but mostly I wouldn't be too happy with him as a frame. I kind of do just lean to the side, especially if you're going augmentless, so you're just not using any of the upgrades to his abilities that are available. He kind of relies on them to have any significance whatsoever. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Hydroid, just at all. Alright, we got spots open, 2 more spots for anyone joining in on a little bit of Sanctuary Onslaught. So, you know, send me a message in game. If you don't know how to do that, exclamation mark join. Obviously, it's just for people on PC. We'll take it from there. I'm going to say, let's see if I can keep up with Mirage this time. Maybe. I mean, as I say, the Explosive the Journey main build is not as strong overall as the ESO build, but it is still very strong and it is less demanding on your movement. I'm not sure on the casting speed there, Rickaraz. You'd have to double check on the wiki because there will have the correct information. But even then, the fact that there is a charge on those abilities, rather than just working at full power, certainly slows him down. I don't like that. What stats should I get for a stat stick for Core F for Slash? Well, if you're going for Slash, you don't want Slash on the stick. I mean, you could go for Slash, but probably for the Riven, not really a big focus. You want to have either a viral prime or weapon, or put some viral on the stick to boost up the Slash from it. I suppose actually some Slash modding to try and increase the status chance towards Slash could help out. Otherwise, mostly the same as I showed you in the video. You want to be going for your crit damage, you want to be going for your pure damage. You don't want to be going for reach, because that obviously has no effect. Alright. Am I waiting on someone? I think someone said they were loading up. No, Gorilla's page, never mind. Alright, we'll just go in then. We'll go public, and we'll see who we can accidentally help out as well. Might make someone's day. Are there any old frames I'd love to see reworked for current Warframe? Or would I love to see sources spent elsewhere? There are some frames in need of work. Not many, but there are some frames in need of some work. I feel that Inaros is a little bit too much of a meme in how his abilities just really don't seem to matter. Hydroid definitely needs some love in my opinion. I know some people feel otherwise, but overall he does need some love. He is lacking, and Frost has one small change I'd like to see, and that's to make it where we can shoot through his bubble both ways. Because right now, if you're inside the bubble, you can shoot out. But if you're outside the bubble, you can't shoot in or through it. And that is detrimental to players playing with players, because it blocks you from attacking. Certainly if you put it on defense objective and enemies run inside of the bubble, sure they're slowed down, but now they're invulnerable to everyone who's outside the bubble, and that's not really good. Alright, let's get that nuke going. So you see, I just pressed 2, and now things are just kind of dying everywhere. Very high range, good amount of strength. It turns all pickups into bombs, and they just kind of blow up. Like so. Anything that survives is still taking the status procs as well, but mostly they just kind of go, cast 2, any pickups are around, get turned into bomblets. You do need to kill some enemies to get it started, which means that with Sanctuary Onslaught, you every round have to restart the build-up. But once you've got the build-up, you can pull off some nasty damage. I'm at 195 kills now. You definitely did not see me kill 195 from my full. You see, I can't even shoot them in time, they're dying. On spawn. 265 kills. It kind of scales a little bit bonkers. 296. They're still rolling in. Rolling in. It's a little bit crazy. A very, very strong AoE build. And slightly, you know, along the lines of D's concern about automation, I'd say. Because, you know, I'm not really paying much attention. I'm pressing the ability and letting it happen. It is redonkulously strong. Now, it out damages in Sanctuary Onslaught, but only. In Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, the enemies are a lot tougher there, and so it doesn't scale as well, is my experience. Against the Corpus and the Infested, it can still handle, but against the Grineer especially, it starts to fall off. That's why I instead recommend switching over to the Prism Guard build, which is so much more powerful, but also so much more intensive. Both in an energy concern, in the ability spam, you need to be careful about how you handle it, in that you need to have the Prism Guard augment. But yeah. Prism with Prism Guard is very, very powerful in ESO. Look at that, 602 kills. I mean, that's more than a couple. I've also fully stacked now my, Malt Augmented. Obviously, you get that with 250 kills. 600 kind of confidently handles that. So yeah, this is where I start off slow. We need the drops to start happening. Ammo pickups especially. Once they start happening, we start getting explosions. The other weakness is with the Infested Disruptors. Because the damage isn't huge, it's killing these low-level units, but it's not huge overkill. Once the Disruptors spawn in around them, they tend to resist a lot of the damage, and so that can slow down the build. But yeah, 763 kills, we're going to keep stacking. Let's see how far we can get this round. And you can see the focus rolling in too, that's pretty nice. Not a huge amount, but it's nice. And this is with no boosters aside from that 25% from the relay dressing. Everything's dying on spawn, that's the intent. Will the ammo rework kill this build? It won't kill the build, it will hurt it. They did comment about that on Twitter, so it did get raised. It will make the build weaker, but not a lot weaker. Could Mirage Traps work in ESO with an armor strip like Pillage? Potentially. The thing with armor stripping is that you need to strip a lot of armor for it to actually make a lot of difference. The higher an enemy's armor gets, the closer you get to armor strip being how much more damage they take. Or no, the reducer the number of hits you need to do to kill them. Say for example you've got a damage which can just about kill the enemy's health. The enemy has 5,000 health, you do 5,000 damage. With even 1 point of armor, you need a second shot to kill them. And with every 300 armor, you need an extra shot to kill them. So if they've got 300 armor, it takes 2 shots. If they've got 3,000 armor, it's going to take 11 shots. If they've got 30,000 armor, good luck, frankly. That's a lot of shots to get through. Armor stripping, say halving that armor, you halve the number of shots it's going to take, but there's still a limit because you're still going to have to go through that many shots, or that many explosions, that many casts, that kind of thing. We got 994. Not a lot of kills on this one, actually. Not a lot of kills. If you can get total armor strip, then yeah, that can be great. Because even at high levels, armor is a huge part of the equation. So if you can just take that out entirely, you're absolutely laughing. You really are. But without that, even modest levels can start to slow down this build. Just slip our way through there. Slightly unintentional, but it's okay. Oh, that is just having a dramatic death. That's fine. Yeah, 1,100 kills. Let's keep stacking them. It is ridiculous the AoE range on this. Look at that. I just did a bit of sliding there, and bam. That just night wave complete. Just hold slide for a moment. Done. Because they were just continuously dying around me. 1,200 kills. It's a powerful setup. And more enemies you have, the more players you have in squad killing the enemies to get it started, the more powerful it gets. Mirage loves having more enemies around. It boosts her kit up when doing this kind of approach. Yeah, Raps, you're right. If those do work out as we need them to, that could absolutely help out. We'll need to see how it pans out. Theory grafting works only so far. We do need to see it in practice, especially because in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, if you end up spamming abilities, you can get locked out of them, and that can just shut down your effectiveness. Oops. Okay, didn't. Nope. Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out. Hello, good licks. Doing well here today. Hope you're doing well yourself. Thought you might have been able to keep up, but just have to find something else. It's really hard to keep up with something that kills enemies as they spawn. Like, I know you're trying there, Cephalon Rage, but yeah, I have 10 times as many kills because I'm just deleting them before you can even try to target them. This is one of the things we talk about with ridiculously overpowerful AoE. This is a very specific setup. In most missions, this doesn't work out anywhere near as strong because you don't get enemies constantly respawning on the spot other enemies previously died. We'll do one more round. What's the theme of the stream? Nuking. Except when chat decided otherwise for 40 minutes. Mostly nuking. Yeah, most missions outside of Sanctuary Onslaught, this build doesn't work anywhere near as well. You don't get the same enemy density, you don't get the same enemies being quite so weak, you don't have the constant respawns allowing you to cycle through them so quickly. That reduces all of the aspects of the nuke. It's very much tied to lots of enemies, lots of ammo pickups, and enemies not being too strong. That's fine. Niche builds for niche purposes, so long as those niches are niches people care about, that's good. That means that this build isn't a one-size-fits-all build, it's just a build that goes boom. Stygian Black saying, what's your opinion on this? Cougar weapons should be MR locked, and the best weapon should have their MR increased. Anyone who already has them will keep them, but diminish power until you get required MR. Why? There's my response there. Why? You've given an idea, but an idea on its own is pointless. So, let's hear it. Why do you feel that idea should happen? Why propose it? I'm not saying no to it. I'm not saying yes to it. I'm saying why. Argue the idea. As DE already has MR locks on a lot of gear. They've chosen not to apply the MR locks to Cougar weaponry. And they've certainly never chosen to weaken weapons when people already have them, but then the MR lock is taken above where they're at. So why? Why do you feel those are good changes? What's up with the controversy surrounding the platform for Warframe? Android, you're referring to Overframe there. Sorry, no, Overwolf, not Overframe, Overwolf. And, well, someone in the Discord, Snored, did a very deep dive on this. Took it further than I could, looking into things like the actual code itself. And found no issue. There are claims about Overwolf being a crypto scam, that it's mining in the background, just always. I found absolutely no evidence of this. I found no evidence of that happening. There have been claims that it is just going to drain all of your resources. It takes up so much stuff. I was running it, and it used at most 5% of my CPU. It was using less than a fifth the memory of Warframe, so no. There are claims that it is stealing your data. Firstly, there was nothing verifying these claims. Secondly, those comments were being made by people on YouTube, a Google-owned product. Gotta say, misplaced concerns there if you're worried about your data going somewhere. So yeah, I couldn't find anything contemporary, anything recent to say, no, Overwolf bad. The main other thing is people saying, oh, but it's putting my account at risk. How can we be sure this is okay? And I literally linked in the description of the video and in the pinned comments, Dee's official comments about third-party applications. With that including a note about Overframe. They've had discussions, not Overwolf, I keep saying Overframe, Overwolf. They had discussions with them. only so far as to ensure they weren't breaking the EULA and terms of service. They can't turn around and support any third-party applications. They won't, categorically. No sensible game developer ever supports a third-party application. Ever. Either they'll turn it into second-party, they will bring it somewhat on board, they'll put contractual limitations to ensure that it is not going to change into something dangerous and malicious, or they'll make it first-party, they'll just bring it in-house entirely and take over the application. Otherwise, they won't support it because it could change tomorrow. There's no reason it should, but it technically could, and that means as it's outside of their control, they're not going to endorse it. They'll remind you of what the rules are, they'll remind you, don't hack, they'll remind you, don't exploit issues in the game to get an unfair advantage, they'll remind you, do not automate the game, do not bot the game. They make it pretty clear what the rules are, and let's face it, I've been using it myself enough to not just test out the program, but then also make the full video on it and put the video out there, and I'll continue using it in bits and places here or there. I haven't had an issue. Yeah. So, I'm not going to go swinging with every single one of those comments. Frankly, it's not worth my time. I'm not going to moderate the comments on it because that creates an air of trying to sweep things under the rug. Wait, is Overwolf an anti-cheat? I don't know what you even mean by that, Magtan. Okay. I don't even know what you're asking because I didn't even use that word, so I don't know what you're talking about. So quite frankly, I don't get where the concerns are coming from, aside from just people seeing the name Overwolf and going, oh god, that must be the end of the world. No one, not a single person has backed it up in any single one of the comments. I've been going through them, and I'll leave them up on there, because at the end of the day, I'm not just going to censor people for having bad ideas. If people get malicious, if they get unfairly accusatory beyond just the general claims, certainly if they become rebellious against myself, then yeah, they can go. Any particularly racist comments, yes, they do happen from time to time. Really weird people out there. God. Overall, no. I don't see the issue, and that's exactly why I was okay with working with a Leica frame for that video. Elio, come on in. I don't know what we're doing next just yet. Haven't looked up the next picker frame, but yeah. I'm not saying that I'm perfect in my choices. There may be mistakes in certain pickups, but there isn't one here. I don't see an issue. If someone doesn't want to use, if they see DE's warning of use at your own risk and go, a risk? Oh my god, I must never do something risky, then sure, okay, don't cross the road. Frankly. Their reach is a limit. Yes, F King, there have been racist people on the comment section on YouTube. Usually YouTube quarantines them before I even get to them, and very quickly they find themselves able to post comments, and yet no one seems to respond to them. How strange. They never get any attention on their comments, almost as if no one else can see them. Huh, weird that. Yeah, it's a thing, we do it. We got a friend request, what do we got here? Gargoyle saying hi. Hello. Who is Gargoyle? I mean, I'm fine with banning people, but you need to at least let me know who you are. So Jen, coming back on the MR question, sorry for the late answer, need to think of a good answer. Something powerful should be earned through something more than a somewhat to moderately difficult system. I'm sorry dude, I'm going to have to say that that's not an answer. The Kuva weapons have their difficulty created to them. Gaining mastery is not difficult. Actually obtaining a Kuva weapon is more difficult than gaining mastery. So I disagree. If that's your reason for increasing the mastery locks on Kuva weapons, I think you don't understand what a mastery actually is in the game. Mastery is equipping something and then gaining affinity either yourself or through others giving it to you. Ah, there you are, Gargoyle. Alright, we'll add yous. We'll add yous. There are plenty of people who've gotten to MR30 and above who have done absolutely nothing other than the basics of the game. They've just headed over to Sanctuary Onslaught with whatever gear they've been handed next, got it leveled up, and then done nothing else. You're welcome, dude. So yeah. I just don't see that as a good enough reason. I just don't see that's a good enough reason to increase the grind requirements. Grind isn't skill. See, NAND FPS confirming it there. Things happen at different times. Alright, on to the next request, which was for a Vault Nuke. Now, that boy said specifically 300% plus strength. I mean, we can see what I want to build. I don't have any form on my Vault Primers yet, which I should probably fix. But let's see what we can achieve here. I already have 267%, so, and then with growing power, that does actually get over the 300. Hey, mission successful. Instantly met the requirements, that boy. Don't you love it? Right, let's see. Is this what we're looking for? This is exceedingly low efficiency, though. So we are going to need plenty of energy for this to work. Plenty of it. We've got Arcane Energize, we've got Arcane Nullify here to prevent losing energy where I don't want to. We got Preparation, so I'll hit the ground running in terms of cast with my energy. That should give me a few cast. Are the guidelines what squad mates should bring? Bring what you feel like bringing, Elliot. Bring what you feel like bringing. I don't have a requirement on you today other than don't break my eyeballs. That sounds good to me. Sentinel saying, grind is annoyance, stuck MR29, don't want to play the skateboard, still need to do the 10 at weapons. I mean, I've got good news for you, Sentinel. I've got very good news for you. You see how I am nearly Legendary 1, okay? And I've mostly been putting it off, let's be honest now. I have done 1 K-Drive. 1. And that's more that was forced upon me. I haven't touched 3 of them. I haven't touched the 4th hidden one, or 5th hidden one. You don't need them. So you can just straight up ignore these. You do not need to K-Drive to get to MR30. Don't you worry about that, my dude. You can ignore that entirely. Does Energize work with the Dissipate Arcane? It doesn't work directly with them. You can use the two alongside each other, but the energy orbs from Dissipate do not trigger Energize, no. I have got Zeneric, so that's going to give me an energy source. We don't have drain abilities, so you know what, I'm happy to just run as is. If someone happens to give me energy with a Harrow Prime, you know, I wouldn't be upset at that. And Zom looking to join, coming in. There is an energy cost being looked at on the starter frame vault. They're changing his first ability down from 25 to 15. Overall, though, I don't see the energy as too much of an issue. If anything, if energy becomes really demanding on high-strength builds like this one, that's more of an incentive to look into gear or options which give you energy, or allies which give you energy. Work with your allies to improve your setup, rather than every frame being perfectly capable of doing absolutely everything all in one. I get that newer players do struggle more for energy. I would like to see an option there. I've pitched a couple, but we'll see what DE come up with on that side. Mostly, though, I don't think it's an issue for starter frames specifically on their cast costs. Certainly because if you drop that down, you're dropping it down for everyone. That tends to buff up high-level players rather than help newer players. I'd like to see it on the inverse, something that's designed for the new players, but doesn't really matter to the higher levels. We'll go normal Sanctuary Onslaught again, because we don't want to overcook it. We don't need to overcook it. And hey, we might also get some people some core bits along the way. That could be cute. Another comment on the mastery discussion. One of the problems of Kuva weapons is veterans nuking the map before newbies have a chance to even look at the enemy. Locking Barahim mastery wouldn't change that. Correct, yeah. Yeah, higher mastery doesn't prevent it being overbearing for new players to experience from someone else. It just prevents newer players from using it. Again, that's for reputation, that's not for leveling up the K-Drive. K-Drive you need to do even more. And people who don't like doing that, yeah, it becomes a pain point. Alright, let's see, how far does that zapping reach? That is not as far as I hoped. I'm going to need more range on this. That straight away told me I do not have the range I need. No, that's not going far enough at all. Nope. Alright, we'll just do one round of this. This build needs some refocusing. Because when it hits stuff, it can hit. Now, I've got 33 kills. I want more range on it. Without the range, it requires more placement, and certainly for the energy cost we're going through, should definitely be hitting a lot more than this. Definitely should be hitting a wider range than that. I should be seeing damage sticks across the entire range. It's a big map. I know it's a big map, but we're looking for a nuke. We're not looking for a bomb, a grenade, an RPG, or some other medium-range explosive. We're looking to nuke. And a nuke does not just take out a single building. It doesn't take out a room inside of a building. A nuke says, to whom it may concern. We'll do that. Jim Wizard, if you pick up the request for the postcard, yeah, absolutely. I'll get in touch with you. We'll arrange a proper postcard sent out to you. 250k spanners is more than a couple spanners. But if you get to that point and you are happy to pop that onto getting yourself a postcard, then by all means, my dude. I would absolutely love to send out a postcard to someone who's looking for one and who's been to the channel that long to pick up 250,000 spanners. Absolutely. That's someone who deserves it, sir. A little bit of a signed goodie. Something unique for you. Something personal. If you'd like to get something physical in the meantime, if you don't have 250,000 spanners and want to still get yourself something engineer related, you can head on over to the merch store, !merch, get yourself something like a nice shiny mug, get yourself a bit of gear. Whatever takes your fancy, from that there. Have I tried the Gara Nuke yet? Not on this stream, but I have done a Gara Nuke. Gara Nuke is a very powerful option. Remember guys, one only, don't go through the portal, or I'll be leaving you behind. Fair do, Jim Wizard, fair do. Fingers crossed you managed to get to that postcard in a time you're happy with. The previous option, for anyone wondering, used to be the extract everything option, which Quintus decided to do with bits instead of the channel points and just deleted the entire sculpture collection I had. That was a fun day.
Hunter, the sanctuary will go on without you.
Is the radius for his fall the same as radius for each damage instance from enemy to enemy? No, it's not. Let me show you how vaults work. One more range, and then we'll look at applying that range. Alright, let's pop down, see what modding we can do to change that up there. If we bring this up here, you can see that there is radius, 26 meters, and then there's effect radius. So the initial radius of 26 meters is how far he'll send out the pulse to actually hit enemies. The effect radius is how far around each of those enemies they do the zappage. Now we've only got 130% range here, so it's understandable why that was doing not a lot, quite frankly. I also see that we've got this slot available that preparation could go up into for this kind of approach. I do like having the depolarity for rolling guard, that is always a nice cheapener, so let's grab that. Move this up onto here, let's grab that depolarity. Buff that up for us. Okie dokie. Now, Auger Reach, we can replace that for Stretch to just get more range already. We've not got a lot to work with there. I could drop the Strength down. Just go with normal Intensify. To give me the freedom to pop in something else, I could actually bring back the Auger Reach I just took off. Got that bug where it hides the mod. One moment. 13 number format? Yeah, I have a couple. If I only had 2 or 3, do you think I would allow chat to be putting them into Urali? No. Alright, so I brought up my range up from 130% to 175. This radius is now out to 35 meters with an effect radius of 14 meters. That's quite a significant jump, I'd say. The other options to improve our range would be to, for example, go with Cunning Drift. That would mean dropping preparation, which means getting started with the nuke would be a lot more difficult, given the efficiency cost there. And that's only a 15%. The other option would be narrow-minded. That could replace rolling guard. I'd be risking my tank, and I would be not narrow-minded, overextended. So I'd be dropping my tank, and I would also be dropping a lot of my strength, which means that I would hit further, but less effectively so. Debatable on if that's actually worth it. You know what? Let's give it a try. Strength is always nice, but there is such a thing as too much strength. So let's give that a try. Give that a whirl at 193, raising up to, what's that, 118? Sorry, 218 with growing power. Want to compare notes? Sure, let's have a quick look. So you've gone for absolute max range. You've also boosted your efficiency, kept up the duration and strength about where I've got mine. Energize and vigor, doing what they're doing. Okay. So my duration I'm holding at 155. You've got yours to 123. So you've gone transient fortitude for some strength, rather than I'm currently using Augur Secrets. That would take another former, granted. I noticed that you haven't got Prime Flow on there, so your energy only goes up to 300, which means you only have stack for max of 2 casts without some energy pickup. So I do find it a little bit on the shaky side when you can get Prime Flow to really soak up the energy when it becomes available. You don't have energy problems often, I don't want energy problems ever. But then, yeah, I'm still looking down the barrel of that efficiency right there, which is definitely a thing. Given ESO's limitation, there is that, true. There is definitely that. Let's see, what I could do is take off that Augur Reach after all and go with the Streamline mod. Bring up my efficiency to 75. That brings the cast cost down to 125. Or I could take it a step further with Fleeting Expertise. Ooh, I can't fit that with this setup currently. Alright, stick with that for the moment. Stick with that. We've got a lot more range. That range is now 47 meters. That's pretty stonking, actually. That's pretty stonking. Nullifier, I don't actually need the defense against energy loss, let's be honest now. Yeah, you're very right. Molt Augmented, that would be a very good idea. The longer we go, more strength, more damage. Molt Augmented is great for scaling up your damage abilities as the levels continue to climb. Am I building for new player friendly, or why are there no spoiler mods? Spoiler mods? The hell is a spoiler mod? You mean Umbral mods? I mean, I could go Umbral, but Umbral, I'll be taking up 3 slots to increase the strength over what this does by 47%. So which 2 mods do I take out for 47% more strength? Bear in mind, if I take out this one, that's an even lower reduction. Not to mention the amount of form that would take as well to fit everything in. Even just Umbral Intensify on its own, I can get 14% more strength just a straight swap there. But that would require another former, and that means I've got to rank this up again first. Doable, but it's something to work towards, is that one. But Vitality and Fiber, I don't see them providing enough benefit to go beyond that. What about using Dispensary? Dispensary could be subsumed onto here, absolutely. If I was going for Dispensary, I'd probably consider swapping out Streamline for Equilibrium. Because then I could pick up the Health Orbs for energy as well, and that would give a lot more. I don't think Vitality would be a good pickup here. No, Sennifer. Let me, if I just grab, do I have an empty slot? Yes, I do. So Umbral Intensify, 44%. With Vitality, that goes up to 55%. So we gain 11% strength at the cost of not only 16 drain, but also this entire mod slot. That is a hell of an ask for just 11% strength. That is absolutely huge! When you consider that Augur Secrets here at 7 drain is 24%. So that's why I'm saying that Vitality probably wouldn't be the go-to. So, Umbral Intensify, yeah. Once I get another former on here, that can absolutely swap in. Or I could drop Preparation for that straight away, but I like having the extra energy on ESO, because this resets your energy at the start of every round, by the way. Yes, Jennifer, you're still saying like I could just swap those mods in right now. It's not 55 versus 30 plus 24. It's 55. 55 versus 44 plus 24. Intensify for Rumble Intensify is 44 plus 24. You've got 68 versus your 55. You're trading out strength for health. It's not giving you more strength. You see what I'm saying, dude? You're saying that 2 Umbrals together is going to be better, but it's really not, and you don't want health tank. If you're taking hit point damage as Volt, you're kind of messed up. This is going to be giving you at least a teeny tiny bit of shield gating. You should otherwise be locking down the enemies so they aren't shooting you. No, I don't think double Umbral is a very smart idea here. Volt is not one who wants the health and armor tank. But yeah, the single Umbral to replace Intensify with the extra Former, that would work. Why do I go Terminal Velocity on the Foreman? By increasing the speed of it, you increase the range of the shot, you increase the distance where the fall-off starts to happen, therefore you increase the ability to apply damage. Alright, okay, some people are getting a hard on for Dispensary. I'm not going to run Dispensary right now, I get it. Dispensary, yes, more energy, could replace Streamline for Equilibrium, except Equilibrium takes up even more drain, by the way, guys. You know, that's the thing. We can't form it twice before leveling it. But yeah, we absolutely could put Dispensary onto here. If every build has to have Dispensary, you're narrowing it down. You want to look at ways you can make it work without those subsumes, because then you can look onto other subsumes to improve your damage. Are we doing SO or ISO? Let's try... Let's start with SO, so we can expand the ability a bit more. We don't want to get into lockdowns just yet. We want to just try and see if we got the application whilst also having sufficient strength at that level. And then we scale it from there. If we have to rely on Dispensary to make it work, then we'll work with that. If we can do it without Dispensary, we can then look at other options. It shows the flexibility is there. If we go straight to Dispensary at this stage, we lose the ability to tell, well, actually, is it Dispensary that we need, or do we not need it? That becomes blurred, and that's not a good idea. Hey, that's always nice to have Snore. Jim was saying, Kenji, I have polarized one mod slot or something. Excuse my ignorance in terms, does that mean only one slot is stronger? Polarization doesn't make a slot stronger. What polarization does is it means that when you put a mod with the matching polarity into that slot, the mod's drain is halved, rounded up. So if the drain is 11, half of that is 5.5, so it's costing you 6 to fit rather than 11. That's what polarity does. If you put a mod that doesn't match the polarity in, the cost goes up by, I think, 25%. So something that would cost 8 will then cost 10. Alright, I would like more enemies to exist, that'd be great. Then I could test this build. This is this weird map where it has like 2 spawning regions that don't really overlap. The other one spawns a lot of stuff over here. Kind of a bit funky. We can see I'm at 75 kills. Yep. So I am ahead in the kills here. It is applying. Do we see those damage procs going further out, or is someone else getting those kills? It does seem to be reaching out a bit. That's good. Yeah, we're seeing distant kills there. I'm just going to get rid of the Xmas. Thank you very much. I can't actually tell if I'm being fed a lot of energy right now. It's kind of hard to see. I mean, we're doing this without Dispensary, but we are, I think, doing this with a Harrow in the squad. Yeah. Have I ever used auto-install on a Warframe or weapon before? Yes, it was a very embarrassing moment. Most of you shouldn't be using it. Can I explain how Void Trace's drops are calculated? Yeah, sure. When you get 10 Reactant, you get a Void Trace drop. It is between, I believe, 6 and 30. It's a random number. And because it is a resource drop, it is affected by resource boosters like Smeeta Gavat's Charm, like just a normal resource booster, but not affected by drop chance boosters. You then get an extra 5 for every person who selects your relic reward at the end, if you have a relic reward, that is. That's it, that's all it does. You only use auto-install? Bad idea. You want to learn about your builds. If you don't know how to make builds, learn how to. Just letting auto-install happen means you are severely reducing your ability to improve. Not just your builds, but how you work with your builds. Don't do that. Don't cheat yourself out of being a better player. Half of this game happens in the arsenal. Only had a YouTube channel? Oh, wait. Yeah. I mean, auto mod isn't always terrible. It is quite terrible, but it can at least get some things a little bit right. But mostly it's an idiot, yes. The solution to not knowing what you're doing is learning, not trying to find something to do it for you. By getting something to do it for you, all you have done is, even if you just copy someone else's build and then just call it a day. With a weapon build, if you're just putting on the mods and not even looking at what you're doing, you're not learning. Congratulations, you now have one weapon that does some stuff. Do you understand why it does it? Look, listen, learn. And you'll become a much better player, and overall a more confident person as a result. When you understand what you are looking at and what it means, you realise how the game actually functions. You see the game in a different light. I highly recommend it. The ability to see beyond just the flashy images of the game, into the mechanics of it, into the whats and the whys, that's crucial. But if that's not for you, then fair enough. There are many ways to enjoy the game. I just feel you'd be missing out on a lot by not doing so. A point to the dispensary I mentioned earlier with the whole you could put on other subsumes. At this level here, we're tearing through enemies. You notice some of them, they don't instantly die. It does take them a second or two. And this is normal Sanctuary Onslaught. At higher levels, with more armor, those armored enemies are going to resist this more, because this is electricity damage, it's not true damage. Armor matters. So with regards to that then, oh my god, we've got so much energy being poured out here. So with regards to that then, if we could skip Dispensary as a general build, then that would allow us to invest in armor stripping, such as, for example, Fire Blast. With high range and positive strength, Fire Blast is a 75% armor strip. With the changes incoming, making armor strips additive, double cast on that and you've got a total armor strip, and that would allow you to scale the damage into enemies that otherwise could resist it. Will the Ignis be able to headshot after the explosive nerf? We have no idea. We need to wait and see on the details of that one. I need to level up, so let's go. I think you don't need to understand everything about the build, but if you learn one thing every time you update a build, every time you take out a frame you're not used to, if you learn one thing each time, just one, you are getting better. You're getting smarter. You are encouraging yourself as a habit to discover more. Don't be satisfied with what you know. There is always something more to pick up. Search for it. Go for it. I believe you. I believe in your ability to do that, even on the most draining of days, to just find one thing new. And you'll be better for it. Always will be, I promise you that. And you know how often I don't promise things. There are people here today who have learned about the power of Mirage's nuke using the Explosive the Germain Augment. Now, people have learned about how range is set up on a Vault kit. Now, people have learned about leveling up of Necromex and how Bone Widow can heal itself quite substantially using the Meat Hug ability. Always good to learn something. Ridiculous saying, Engineer, streamers have said Ignis minus headshots equals a dead weapon, won't be used any longer. Do I agree? It will need to be tested and looked into when we actually get the release. The Ignis Wraith has already been a bit of an overrated weapon. What makes it so desirable usually is that it's relatively easy to acquire. You just ask someone who has a blueprint once you got the mastery rank. It doesn't really struggle from ammo concerns, has a relatively favourable damage type, and just kind of your point of shoot, it wins. For Star Shot level stuff, it's always just kind of done that. For Steel Path, it's been more of a struggle. I don't think that taking away headshots on it is going to kill it, quite frankly. It will make it weaker, but I don't think it'll kill it because the majority of people using the Ignis Wraith are not aiming hard enough to care about headshots that much. They're really not. So to say that headshots are just going to be the death of the Ignis sounds like you're finding the type of content creators who like to make a lot of noise about everything. You'll find I'm not that kind of creator. Is that Silencer Prime? Yeah, Silencer Prime. How do you know which positive and negative to balance when making a build out of corrupted mods? Like, for example, I don't know if I should go for Transient Fortitude, Blind Justice, and so on. High range, mid strength, high strength, whatever. So, when making a build, you need to look at what you are working with. What ability or abilities are you trying to make use of? For example, here right now on Vault, I'm not using my first, second, and third abilities. I'm not using the first because it's a small damage ability, I don't need it. I'm not using my second ability because we don't need the speed increase and reload speed increase. I'm not using that. No one here is in need of it right now. I'm not using my third ability because I'm not creating static defensive locations to shoot through for more crit damage, electricity damage. My entire focus is on casting my fourth ability. So I look at that. My fourth ability, it requires lots of strength to get lots of damage. More strength means more damage, so that's where a lot of the focus is. We discovered after the first test of that I did not put enough focus into range. Whilst I had damage, it just wasn't going far enough. So, we built for more range. We need duration, so that the ability actually lasts long enough to deal the damage, because otherwise if you have a very short duration, the damage just times out. So we need at least positive duration. And then in looking at it all, we went, okay, well, either we're going to have middle stats all round, or the efficiency is going to have to give. So I've accepted a lower efficiency. I brought in Xeneric and Arcane Energize to improve the efficiency. Sorry, to improve the energy gain to make up for the efficiency. That's how the build has been created. You look at the stats for the type of gameplay you are creating with that build, that Warframe, and then you pick those stats to fit and see what mods get you there as best as you can. If you're balancing around multiple abilities that scale off different things, then you're accepting a middle ground. You find your limits. So like, if I did this build here and then went, oh wait, no, the energy cost is too high, I can't afford this, I would then switch over to higher efficiency, or I would subsume ability, which would give me more energy. I think I would probably need to do that with the way I'm casting. I'm getting a lot of energy from my allies here. So normally I would need to have more energy support. So in testing your build, you go, ah, right, this is a weakness, I need to shore it up. Likewise, if you go, oh, hang on, no, this is handling quite fine, this is very good. Then you go, okay, maybe I can bring something down. Maybe the range was too high. We don't need to spend so much on range, so let's take off a range mod and put on more strength. That's how you tweak and work with the build. Test what limits you can achieve. That's how you do it. Yeah, I didn't know that, but yeah. If you've got Vault speed and you want to end, you can backflip out of it. If you're not Vault, you end the buff on you. The way to backflip, aim, hold backwards, and roll. That's a backflip. Everyone but Vault himself can get out of the speed that way. Vault just has to deal with it. You castled it, it's your problem, mate. I hope that clears up on the generalized modding theory about how you balance your stats, how you pick the stats you want to work with. You do the same with weapons. If you see that you're using a weapon for damage, is it a crit-based weapon? Build up your crits. Has it not got much in the way of crits? You build up direct damage. and you choose the damage types to match the faction you're coming up against. So yeah, that seemed to work out well. I'll need to test that solo to see what the energy concerns are like, because if the energy concerns are high, then I'd look to use Dispensary, as others have suggested. I'd look to put in Equilibrium. I may even need to switch to a lower durations by using, what do you call it? Fleeting Expertise for even more efficiency to bring that back up around. I may even, depending on how things go, swap out Blind Range for Transient Fortitude. So we got lesser strength, but then efficiency isn't a concern there, and we can use this slot here for a different kind of strength buff instead, because we wouldn't need the efficiency anymore. Different ways of handling it. That's the kind of tweaking you do. I can tell you for certain, no one who is very good at the game has put the mods into a weapon, put the mods into a frame, and just gone, yep, that's done. We can go home now. They've always been thinking it through. Yeah, some weapons you get to a point you're like, well, on go the crit mods, on go the damage mods, on go the elemental mods, on go the fire rate buffs, and we're done. But they had to learn to get there. Don't expect to learn it all in one day. They said about lots of options, yeah. Lots of options. Alright, I think we're doing enough of Vault right now. We've got him up to max level, so I can deal with more on him later. Gorilla with a Glock had a request for Equinox Maim. So let's get Equinox ready. Before I do on to that, I realise I've gone through quite a bit of tea, and I can certainly feel that nature is actually having a little bit of moan. Usually Mother Nature waits a bit longer, but she's been mean today. That's the way it be. So you know what, guys? I will be back in just a moment. Don't you go anywhere. Hello again, chat. There we are. Nice and refreshed. Let's get back to it, well, shall we? So, Equinox, Maim. Let's have a look at this one here. Now this has been a build in progress for a while. I've just had a meat eat on it. With Equinox's Maim, we want to basically be using this ability and this ability alone.
All right, Doc.
This is what we're working around. Silencer, thank you very much for the 200 bits. I appreciate it, my dude. Cheers. Oh. So with this ability, this is a bit of a strange one. Unlike a lot of Nuke abilities, this one doesn't need strength. Strength affects the damage from the base ability itself, so you can see in day form the damage is slightly down because of low strength. but we don't actually need it. You can dump efficiency if you want, flood with energy. I want to keep the build where it's supposed to be honest, Glock. I want to set this up that it can be used by people who haven't got a harrow up their arse. But I appreciate the offer. Team kill build? Oh no, that's not a rad sortie build, Crown Ladybug. That's even worse than a rad sortie build. But we'll talk about that another time. So, with this here, the range on it is basically the single thing we need to focus on, and efficiency second if you've got anything other than a harrow up your ass. Because this ability does cost a lot of energy to cast and recast. Not only that, it's also a drain ability, so Zeneric out the window. Can't be using that one as much. So, if we want to make this work, high range, high efficiency, we can dump strength, and we can dump duration so long as we have a suitable efficiency for that to work. This slot here is the flex slot around that. The current way I've got it set up, I can't actually swap prime continuity in. I'd need to form it another time. Or I could just drop down my rolling guard. But you can go either for duration with low strength for a duration ability to be added on, or you can go for strength low duration for a either channeled or no duration strength ability to be used. Either way though, the main thing is just having the range. Whilst the aura is active, any damage enemies take is added up into the aura when the enemy dies. And then when you're ready, you deactivate the aura, and that damage is applied to every single enemy in the radius. It reduces with distance, so more range means greater effect, greater accumulation, and improved fall off. Why wouldn't you want just as much range as you could get on that? I haven't gone for the absolute max because again I was messing around with the power strength here. That was looking at an alternative. If you're focusing on this without using any supporting abilities, then you would of course go for Cunning Drift to just min-max the range to the absolute top. For the time being, because I'm not going to do any helmet thing right now, I am going to actually do that. I am going to do that there. We can keep the intensifier around, but it doesn't really matter. It just doesn't matter. I could just easily put a Firewalker there if I had the capacity for it. What's my Equinox colours? Alright, let me bring up the Equinox colours real quickly for you. So we have got white here, so this white is the very top corner white from the smoke palette. We've got the secondary grey, which is the second, and down from the top right corner of the Arcane palette. And on the tertiary, I've got the second one. Well, what's that going to be? B5 if you look at it that way, I guess? Yeah. No, is that B5 or do you count across? Is that E2? That's E2, isn't it? Yeah, people go E2. So E2 on the Arcane palette for that one. For the accent, I'm currently using, again, the Arcane palette. This is very much an Arcane-focused colour scheme here. But we've gone for this mid of the top of the yellows on the Arcane. And same with the emissives and energy colour, we're basically just going all in on the yellow. Be as bright and gold as it can be, because hell, why not? Aside from, you know, ripping people's eyeballs apart, but that happens. We get used to it. Can I help you pick a Sepfar ribbon roll? I've got a whole guide on ribbons, my dude, so if you want to check that out on the YouTube channel, I go into detail about how you can pick the right ribbon for you. Alright then, so, Equinox, with your lovely, lovely range, let's go make this happen. And I've got Violet on there because, you know, it's a range-based ability, it costs no energy, and it allows me to go yeet. Or skate, I suppose. He's fun. Do I always use the 777 amp? Yeah, I don't need to use a different one. Gidlix, it didn't work because Snore did it just before you. So the bot was on cooldown. And we're going to take this into ESO. We'll take this ESO. We've got a Cora, we got a Nova, we got a Harrow, and then we got me. Because Equinox works off the damage done to enemies, this means that Equinox can go to pretty much any level. It's infinitely scaling. The only weakness is armor resists Equinox's ability. So if you can get an armor strip going, you're laughing, and that's why I'm looking at a potential Subsumer Fire Blast to work with the otherwise not huge strength. Watch this though. Ski straight in. I mean, Gidlix, this isn't a totally yellow frame. If you think this is totally yellow, you are in fact colorblind, but okay. And sneeze. Oops, I have slightly overdone that ability. I forgot ESO is that toxic to it, but sure. Smack! We'll just let that 15-second cooldown happen. But I am now on 57 kills. Which is pretty neat. That is indeed pretty neat. 1080p when? Partner when? I stream at a lower resolution to allow people on worse internets to be able to actually enjoy the stream. Because very often we don't have transcoding here. And that is a problem for people who are not watching with, you know, the absolute best Wi-Fi going. So to accommodate that, I stream at a lower bitrate and resolution. Colorblind shaming it is. I mean, if someone wants to have a go at me for colors, they better not be colorblind. Because at that point, you can't really be weighing in if you aren't seeing the colors correctly. That's not an insult. That's not having a go. That's like someone saying, oh, dude, you really should be working on your leg day better when they themselves have just been sat at home all day. Like, bruh. Can't really weigh in when you're not doing it yourself. Disability or no disability. There's certain hills you don't fight on. Saying this is an entirely yellow Equinox is about as wrong as it gets. It's got a lot of gold, but it ain't a piss yellow Lavos. So blurry. I mean, Faded Dinner, if you are increasing the resolution of your stream beyond what I'm streaming, then yes, it's going to appear more blurry to you. That's what happens when you upscale things. If you don't want to have that blurriness, don't go full screen on a 1080p monitor. Otherwise, sit back from your screen a little bit, maybe? Gidlix, no, I didn't mean that, because that's not what you said. You said an all yellow one. Not just energy yellow. Come on, you can't say one thing and mean another, Gidlix. That's not how the world works. You know it. 250 kills. Yeah, I think that's not too bad for zone. It's the infested. They are a bit near.
A data conduit is open. Go now.
Yeah, this stream is made to be accessible to more than just people with the best internet. Oh, I've accidentally triggered Samaras again. My bad. We'll get a decent nuke ready on this one. Now, this is where the armor really plays a part, because despite the fact that we are stacking up 75% of the health damage on every single enemy here, it's still not going to be enough to nuke a lot of the time, unless I really, really build it up. Ooh, I'm taking a lot of damage. Why am I taking a lot of damage? Let's put out some cold rock, slow the enemies down.
You're alright, Doc.
Actually fair and honourable content creator? Oh, thank you, Science. I'm glad you feel that way. And cheers for the 100 bits, my dude. Cheers. Faded Nina, are you on a 4K screen? Just so we understand, are you on a 4K screen? Is quite important to the discussion points here. You are right now? Okay, do you usually watch my YouTube videos on that 4K screen? My 4K YouTube videos. Do you usually watch those on your screen as well? And if so, do they look alright to you? Because I don't actually ask most people with 4K. Most people I know don't have 4K, so worth checking. Do the videos look alright to you? Always nice to double check on those things. Hydrate? Sure. I think we're getting close on the end of the tea. Cheers. How does Gloom work on Lavos? It has a fixed duration and then a cooldown. Fuck. Yeah, this is where armor stripping would be very helpful to Equinox to be able to cast more frequently. But at the same time, it's not hugely necessary, and it is so because Samaras says no. Pretty good quality? Okay, Faded Nina, just to let you know by the way, I don't actually do 4K videos. I upscale them to 4K because they get a better transcoding on YouTube. Whereas if I exported them just as they were, the original 1920 by 1080, they actually look worse because YouTube gives a worse codec for transcoding on it. Yeah, we'll keep going. Equinox is fun. So yeah, fun fact, I actually upscale the videos. It makes them look better, but that's because of YouTube's side, not because of the actual resolution. Now, if you're okay with those videos, I think you can find a way to make the stream work for you as well. If you're on 4K, just sit back a bit, appreciate it a little bit more of a distance, or just don't full screen the stream. But I won't stream at a higher resolution for those who have 4K, as it would push out all of those who can't maintain that kind of stream. I still have tea left is fine to stream. Well, we've been talking a lot. When you're talking, you ain't drinking. You guys should be completely out of tea by now. You'll find that a lot of streamers don't actually stream in 1080p. I think the standard on Twitch has become, because of Twitch's bitrate limitations, I think the standard has actually become something like 936, I think it was some weird number like that. So the bitrate would give the smoothest experience they could do. Those work with transcoding. I do it even lower still for those who don't have access to that, because I'm not a partner. I don't look anything like what you imagined. Yeah, that's often the case. I know, I'm even hotter. Like, how can someone that good at mathematics also actually be a 10 out of 10? I know, it's stunning. Wouldn't it be cold? I mean, if you make a good cup of tea, even cold, it still tastes nice. Whereas if you got low quality tea, then yeah, it tastes terrible. If you microwave it and then have it cold afterwards, it's going to taste terrible. Good quality tea tastes good cold. But I still prefer it when it's hot. And some good at math? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a wonder how I'm still single. Actually, it's not a wonder. I make puns. That's the problem. I can't stop it. They're too funny for me and me alone. It's a problem. The only tea you've ever really had is just normal turkey heel iced tea. Okay. I've never really gone into iced tea. Usually iced teas tend to be a lot sweeter. I prefer just English breakfast tea, add some milk, no sugar needed. Jobs are good. Yeah, we can skip TikTok trends. Alright, we'll do one more round. One more. Would I even want to date someone that doesn't appreciate puns? I mean, they might have redeeming qualities. Maybe. I mean, if they put me to shame in smarts, enjoyed a good game, and also was still a decent looker, if I had to calm down on the puns, we all make compromises. A good relationship is built on compromise, after all. T-tier list? Pass. T is subjective, to each their own. Let's see, how we do on the kills? 846. Yep, we're getting a couple kills. There's a nice group of them over here. If I just go, pop! There we are, 884. That was quite a couple extra kills to get in one ability cast. I'm using the enemy radar to focus in and know exactly where I want to stand for the biggest blappage. What's my Warframe strength? Because Equinox is killing it. Equinox doesn't need strength. That's the thing. Equinox scoops up the damage done by you and your allies to enemies. It doesn't require strength in itself for the nuke. Have I tried Galvanized Aptitude on the Foreman? Oh, the build I'm using at the moment, I think I picked up my index build, didn't I? But yeah, Galvanized Aptitude on the Foreman does definitely work out. It's just not on this particular build. Haven't been checking. Does Twitch usually give your streams the downscaling options? Notice streams been giving them, but guessing it's not always the case. Yeah, it's not always the case, unfortunately. If you are an affiliate, like I am myself, Twitch will give it when available, is the way they phrase it. I haven't been keeping track to know when it is available or not. So if you guys ever see that transcoding is not available, do let me know, just so I know how frequent it is. It used to be a very big problem. Like every other stream would have that issue about 6 months ago. So if you do have transcoding missing, and transcoding being the ability to downscale the resolution, let me know so I know when that's happening. Even if we are getting that consistently, the fact that it would be taken away again with no notification is why I don't want to upscale at any point for now. Alright, GG's on that. If I get to partner with Twitch, or if Twitch changes how they assign it, then yeah, I would go ahead. Do I have a link sheet or something similar for the background tunes? I've got you a single link for that. It's called head on over to Streambeats. I believe it's streambeats.com, but yeah. All the music you hear on this stream is from Streambeats. All of it. Cleared for stream usage, works just fine for me. And they got a nice set of synthwave, although we're listening to EDM at the moment.
Hunter, the sanctuary will go on without you.
That's happened, bro. Glad you enjoyed them. Thank you, dude. Yeah, 1,122 kills in a few rounds of ESO there. I'd say Equinox kind of did their bit, wouldn't you guys? That boy? Cheers. How much would overextending her Equinox's other abilities? For a main build, you don't care about them. You just don't. Remind you, this is the build here. It's got overextended on it. I've got prime shot footage just as a general matter, of course, because, you know, not being knocked down is a nice feeling. Equinox is quite squishy. This Equinox build could be lackluster if playing solo. It's still a multiplier to your damage. Multiplier. Chill acoustic vibes. Giddlix. Acoustic? Acoustic? We don't have a genre of acoustic, do we? Do you mean ambient, by chance? I'm going to assume you mean ambient, but I'll let you confirm that. But yeah, with regards to playing this solo, it still works. The more kills you can get with your weapons, the better. Once you've got those kills, you've charged up main, and then you turn that damage into an AoE. You could just go around sniping really strong targets, the Xmas units, use your sniper rifle, and then deactivate main, bap, everything smaller than the Xmas units is now dead. Obviously, if armor is there, you need to deal with the armor issue. Scale up even higher or strip the armor first. But either which way, it's a AoE multiplier to damage, and that 50-meter radius is insane. That is a lot of range right there. Works too. Alright, we'll switch to the ambient then. One sec, let me just pop that on over there. Bump up the volume just a little bit. We're good. So, with regards to that then, the other abilities, I've subsumed over the ability here. Let me switch to sleep build so you can just see real quickly. So, Pacify and Provoke, in the day mode, which is Main's mode, it gives you a strength bonus, you and your allies. But you don't need strength, so that kind of doesn't matter. The second ability, you can target a cluster of enemies and make it where they take more damage, but that doesn't really matter because you're just building up enough damage to nuke everything. Why would you need to make just a small cluster of enemies slightly stronger and slightly faster? Sorry, slightly weaker, slightly faster. And then the first ability to switch forms, so you're not switching forms, you're nuking with main, don't switch forms. So, ultimately then, you don't need to care about the other abilities on this one. You'd focus on main, and main. I am looking at subsumed abilities, but that's some more research to be done, to be honest with you. That's going to take some more thinking. Does this handsome man have an OnlyFans? I'm afraid not, no. No. That kind of content is reserved for whoever I call my significant other. Believe you me, there'll not be an OnlyFans. Gillick saying, was thinking guitar stuff, honestly, those 200 spanners do what I like. Okay. I don't think we have just gentle acoustic guitar on here as a list, but sure. Is buff Quinox still a good option in pubs? It's an option. You've got the strength buff on day mode, and then you've got the ability to go for healing buff on night mode. So you can certainly try those. So I'm saying there's an alternative path you can do with energy transfer, so you can shield gate off kills and switch to nuke. Yep, you can absolutely do that as well. So this augment here allows you to be charging up as a healer, then you switch to nuke. It's a little bit more finicky, and of course it's an augment slot, but absolutely you can do that. And if you need it, you can just use the heal rather than nuke as well. It gives you a shield approach, and then you just need to be switching. That absolutely is an option there. Having more strength helps you on that to actually get more shields per kill, though. Because without the strength, then you gain no shields. It was just a question, Karacop. Oh, I think I'm missing some of the options. I think maybe it's cylindrical instead of spherical. I didn't think it was cylindrical, but I'll be honest, I'm not too sure on that. It's at such a bonkers range that the difference is hard to notice. It really is. Ray was saying, if survival is endless exterminate, Sanctuary Onslaught is survival ++, what would endless spy look like in my mind? Probably boring, to be honest with you. It would be... You'd notice even more than usual how the tiles repeat. Rather than it feeling like you're raiding different vaults that just happen to have some similarities, it would feel just a bit too samey very quickly, I think. Silencer Prime, thank you very much for subscribing at Tier 1 with 3 months in advance. So that is Tier 1, then Tier 1, then Tier 1 guaranteed. Silencer Prime, I very much appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, and enjoy your lovely badges as you progress through them. Cheers. What's my favourite spear rifle? Don't think I have one. As a favourite, that is. Just don't have a favourite. Yeah, as Rainer was saying, you can juggle one Equinox with another, chain off each other to just scale the damage ridiculously high. That's also a thing you can do. Kind of crazy what you can do on that side, but there we are. Alrighty. So well, that's our Equinox blender. Let's see, what can we wrap up with? Stream feels so calm and relaxed with that background music. I mean, that's the idea of ambient, yeah. It just chills us all down a bit. We're not going for the up-pent energy of EDM. Unce. It's faded away to the smoother vibes. Almost as if you were in a Minecraft world. You're chilling, the sun is rising, the gentle tones of a lush landscape that you call your own. Except we're still murder robots. Can't get past that bit, we are still murder robots. Eclipse buff, because you'll be likely to do raw damage. Yeah, Eclipse wouldn't buff up the maim itself, but it would buff up your ability to deal damage to charge maim. So that is an option there. I would say raw would be a solid pickup as well, because you don't have the light issues. Both of those would go down well. Both of those go down well. Or otherwise, as I say, the armor strip, because you can get enough damage. It's a damage multiplier. You don't want armor getting in the way. So that could also work. You got to remember as well, we can either go for high strength or high duration. We can't really do both. Because if we want to buff at the duration, we're going to be dropping the range or strength or both. And dropping the range is just nerfing the kid, to be honest. Minecraft is not calm. I mean, Minecraft would be not calm, but even with Redstone Chaos, I can keep it calm. Believe you me. I've done my fair share of redstoning. Hell, I put out a video, it's now unlisted, but I did put out a video on pistons the day pistons were added to the game, showing off a number of features, including a block mover and a double piston extender. I put that out within a couple hours or so of pistons being added into Minecraft. Believe me, I've done redstone. It's a terrible quality video, it's part of the reason it's unlisted. It's also not a Warframe video, so yeah, hide that away. But yeah, this ain't my first rodeo, and I've definitely touched on redstone. Oh, and apparently my phone decided to tell me something important. I thought I put you on silent, but there we are. That happens. Alright, to wrap us up then for the last few minutes we have got of the stream here. What have we not used so far? We've not used Gara. Let's bring out Gara. Hello, Penguin. Like a creative, just building something nice like a custom village is calm as hell? Yeah. I've never been a huge fan of creative, but I can absolutely see the appeal. Let's see. Did I have Gara stat stick on the scepter? No. Where did I put a stat stick for her? I'm trying to remember that now. I should probably just take a weapon and name it Gara stat stick so I know for the future. What would it have been on? Would it have been the Broken War that I put it on? Aha! There we go. Wonderful. Alright then, now this is an older stick. Is it still good? Yeah, it looks fine enough for me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring out a build suitable for it. We've got loads of strength, loads of range, a little bit of strength, lots of efficiency, bugger all duration. Yep, that's what we need. That's what we need. We'll just run with that. Job's a good. Alright, take care, Ladybug. Thank you very much as well. We'll catch you on the next one. Alright, let's pop it in here. Dual sword? Nah, it's fine. Didn't mod my phone with push. I forgot to put the mod back on. You know, I've got the wrong loadout on it right now. Wrong loadout. Like on the Minecraft world I've got is just a solo project which I dabble onto every now and then. I've got, for example, on there a silent hopper clock, which is helping to manage a couple of the farms I've got running. I do like having silent clocks, using fewer pistons overall.
This is a stress test.
It's not dead silent, it's more silent. It's using fewer pistons to process everything, fewer bits and pieces. The idea just, I don't need to have, oops, I didn't mean to cast that so soon. The idea that I don't have so much noise going on so I can enjoy more of my base, as it were. Alright, let's see. 11 kills. Could be better. I think we got someone killing quite a bit. Also, this map is not very good for Gara. But as you can see, that does some damage. Yeah. I would also need to get some combo to get even more damage, but I ain't going to focus on that right now. Yeah, this tile is not good for me. Everything's also dying, but mostly this tile is not a good one for Gara. She's very good on Hydron, however. Very good on Hydron. Oh, I need to use the second? No. The second is a damage dealing ability, but it's not the nuke. The nuke here is you cast the 4, you create the glass wall, and then you smash it. And that explodes it. That's how you nuke with Gara. Create wall, smack. Yeah, Sarin kind of sucks when someone else is doing the killing. Sarin does not like having someone else do the killing. Sarin also feels bad when there's another Sarin around, because if that other Sarin gets the spores out before you, your spores ain't doing shit. Sarin is very much main character syndrome. She does not want other people doing stuff. Let's see, I'm on 127. I'm getting some kills. Actually, I've got a decent number, but not like stonking loads is the thing. There's a second level to Gara nuking. If I scaled up the the combo, I could do even more, yeah. And I could, if I wanted, use a very high range on my second ability and use the damage off that and then just run enemies. But that's not nuking. Aside from that, I'm not sure what you might be hinting at right now. But I've got enough damage here. I don't need to be building combo. Are there any frames that benefit from having multiples themselves? There are some. Equinox, for example. Many of them don't really benefit from having others themselves around, they just kind of ignore each other. Not too many are detrimental to each other, but yeah. Ooh, let's get through that, thank you. You Splinter Storm, then stand next to the wall. As it shatters, it adds the shatter damage to Splinter Storm, refreshes Splinter Storm duration. Splinters... What's it called? Yeah, Splinter Storm. The duration is refreshed when you cast your 4th ability. They're saying it adds the shattered damage to Splinter Storm. Yeah. Yeah, you scale up your damage of your 2nd ability, but it's still not high range. It's not a nuke. Nukes have to be high range. Just doing a lot of damage to things very close to you, that's not a nuke. That's just a high damage ability. Wall also resets duration of Splinter Storm and all things it passes through. Yes, everyone that gets touched by the expanding glass wall gets a reset on the duration of Splinter Storm. This build I've got at the moment is a no duration build, which is why I'm not using Splinter Storm, because if you see, if I cast it, I have 4.7 seconds or something like that. It's not a big one. I spend most of my time just recasting, trying to keep it up that way, and it's, that's no good. Roll out of it, cast, and then keep this going. I'm going to lose it, probably. Oh, I managed to keep it that time. Oh, no, I'm going to lose it. Yep, I lost it. Yeah, no duration build. Does not really want me to do that. I got some kills. You can see, I'm hitting far, far away compared to what a damage from 2 build would be. That's different between damage and nuke. Necros benefits from having many of themselves for family reasons. I mean, they don't benefit from having many of themselves. It's just that more Necroses together can keep achieving them, because Necros has a limit on how much it can achieve. Don't like that, mad clock. So it's not a benefit from each other, it's not stepping on each other's toes. Oh yeah, you can scale the damage on your 2 on Splinter Storm pretty crazily good, but you want a duration build, and that eats into other stats. Yeah, let's head to the next one, why not? Is this the last nuke build today? Yeah, this will be the last one today, guys. This is going to be the last mission today. It's why we're doing this last mission here, because we'll also give 2.5 minutes for people to realise that they should grab themselves a ticket if they haven't already done so for the raffle today. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat to get a chance to win some platinum. You know, the usual crucial. Shadows count towards enemy units. Oh wow, it's one way to make a mission easier if you don't mind having less to kill. Just stop them existing. Yep, that works. Why do I look frosty? Oh, and I don't now. Oh. Smack. Who needs a nuke sometimes when you can just smack the one in front of you and call it a day? That's one other thing you can do with this approach. Not just nukey nuke nuke. You're welcome, Penguin. I always have to do a reminder every now and then. I know that even if you're regulars, it can... Whoop! Bollocks. That got me. Even if you're regulars, it can slip you by sometimes. You forget about the platinum giveaway we do, but it is indeed there. We'll give everyone a chance to get in on that. We'll be doing the draw at the end of this mission. Zom, whilst you're here, as I see you're around, could you do me a favour and give us a target somewhere to head to, if you know what I mean? You finally remember to grab the glyph? Nice. It is a nice glyph, isn't it? Oh, well, they died. I didn't even look at them. But me, officer. I didn't touch him. Last I saw, he was doing fine. Yeah, he just killed over. No idea what happened there, officer. Nope. I drew an officer carry what happens to a an ancient is kind of weird. Yeah, not as many kills as the others in the group. Gara's nuke isn't the strongest. And it does have issues, I think, with line of sight more than anything. But you can see... I wasn't really line of sight. Okay. I guess the others are just better nukes, basically. But you can see it's still getting work done. The other thing is you can use her defensively as well as offensively at the same time, which a lot of nukes can't do. Most nuke types are just kill, kill, kill. The defense is lacking. Gara you can avoid that issue with. Where is Zom and why are they dying? Zom? Up, they're alive. There we are. GG's on that one. No, no bubble. Bad. Got way more kills than you. Yeah, your Harrow wasn't doing a lot there, was he? Wasn't doing a lot, but I was up against a Mirage and a Siren as Gara, and I still managed to get hundreds of kills. Went up against a Mirage and a Siren as Gara, and still getting hundreds of kills. That kind of works out. Alright, Zom, I hear you loud and clear. What weapons are good to break nullifier bubbles? If you're very good at aiming, you can go for the drone with any weapon and just snipe it. Otherwise, high rate of fire to just drill the bubble down. That'd be the way to go. So like, for example, even on the Foreman, you'd think, oh, well, normally it's got that shotgun mode. Yeah, you just quick switch over, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then switch back and continue blapping everything. Easy peasy. Rapid rate of fire deals with bubbles quite nicely. Alright, Zom, Eliu, Cephalon, thank you very much for bringing in. GG's on that there. Have themselves a goodie. True, yeah, you can't just burst it down. So that's again why high rate of fire weapons are great for it. Does sniping the drone to permanently destroy the bubble? Yes. If you take out the drone, the nullifier is now just a dude with a backpack, and he's like, ah, right. Hi, Tenno, please don't murder me. But yeah. I'm glad you felt good enough to join in, Zom. That's a good feeling. It seems you're on the recovery nice and quickly, Zom, which is very good to hear. Alrighty then. I think that's enough time on the Platinum giveaway, though. Giving you guys a chance to get in on that. So let's close our entries there and see who is going to be the winner today. The winner of the 75 Platinum giveaway, the person who's going to be taking that onto their account today is Trilda. Congratulations, my dude. I'll be contacting you here on Twitch in a couple minutes to get your Warframe username and platform. We'll get that platinum sent on over to you, my dude. So make sure you are reading that message and replying to that to get that sorted out. For everyone else, especially to those of you who have given bits or subscribed throughout today or gifted out subscriptions, my god, thank you very much for the support of that. I really do appreciate every bit of support you guys give to this stream. It allows me to continue bringing it to you guys, after all. In case anyone doesn't yet realize, I do this full time. You guys are what make that possible. So again, thank you very, very much.
Oh my god! Wait, right here? Kengineer.
Cheers, Max Match. That always makes me smile, that one. I love that voice line. Absolutely love it. Alright then. That is, though, unfortunately, where we got time for today. We need to be raiding on over to someone else. We need to also get a cup of tea in my face. Thank you very much, Silencer, for gifting a sub on over to Lifeless Carcass. You managed to find a corpse to give a sub to. Okay, well, there we go. Thank you very much there, Silencer, for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it, my dude. I'm out of tea, so I'm going to sip with water, actually, instead. Cheers. Alright, guys. And yeah, as Rainy says, if you do want to get more behind the scenes, you can always support on Patreon as well. Those of you who have been gifted a sub today, make sure you link up your Twitch and Discord accounts. You'll have access to the Supporter Tea Lounge over there. If you are subscribed and you don't have access to Supporter Tea Lounge on Discord, let me know. I'll resync it. I know sometimes it's a bit slow, so just DM me or at me on the Discord. I'll get that fixed for you. Don't at me for other reasons, though. That's rude. Alright, let's see. We're raiding on over now to another part of the Warframe community. Let's say hi to someone else who is streaming Warframe. Where can we go today, guys? Oh, thank you, Carcop. I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to be enjoying my birthday, guys. Don't you worry about that. We'll be back here on Wednesday, the day after, for even more good stuff. But right now, we're going to raid on over to Neones. That's where we're going today. That's where Zom has chosen. That's where we're going. So I do hope you guys have a very good one. I'll see you on the next stream. Be awesome. See you next time. Bye bye.